of course, like everything in sports, there's context to it. He did have a great defensive line, a great defense in general. Vic Fangio's over there, and then of course you have two star receivers and Saquon Barkley to help you out. But
best O-line in the league. Best O-line in the league.
O-line league.
Did you see the numbers? I talked about it earlier, CB. The yards before contact. I don't know what you think of that number, but I always look at that as like, hey, guys not getting touched. They were number 1 in the league last year, almost 3 yards before Saquon Barkley was touched.
Crazy.
No,
this year,
crazy.
they're number 16. It's down to 1.2 yards. So it's like, what's going on? I don't think it's Barkley. I think it's that line.
Well, it's not just Saquon, but when you have that kind of stat where, like, hey, running back
you're not getting touched.
It has to do with, obviously, the offensive line getting pushed, but to the running back doing a good job of setting up the blocks. When you're able to set up the blocks and you see an open hole like J.K. Dobbins has been able to do for the past 2 games, is just be very patient back there, set up a hole, and then he sees it, he's bursting through for 5-10 yards. That helps out too. But of course, it starts with the offensive line. But Jalen Hurts, man.
I give him a little pushback because I think Jalen Hurts, we settled on top 10.
10. I said
but
10.
I think you could probably get to like 6. Jalen Hurts a top 6.
Give me just 10.
quarterback.
yeah?
Give me 10.
Yeah.
Give me 10.
You know what? Oh, man.
6, 7.
So
he's
who
in
do you got?
there.
So the top 5. You got
I
Patrick
mean, you're going to have
Mahomes.
Mahomes. You're going to have Lamar. You're going to have Josh Allen. You're going to have Joe Burrow.
Yep.
I think Jared Goff's a really good quarterback. He's in my top 5, 6 as well. So
Lamar Jackson.
I
We
think
said
he's
Lamar.
I
Lamar.
said Lamar. Okay.
Not Justin Herbert.
I think Justin
Herbert's
Herbert.
there.
He's playing like that right now.
Yeah.
But even like right now, Herbert's maybe a bit. No, I wouldn't. I'm putting Jalen Hurts is above Herbert for me.
What about
But
Matthew
by
Stafford?
1. Stafford's in it. He's a little bit on the back end, so he's like 8 or 9 for me.
Did you
What
see
about-
the Stafford don't effing look at me video?
No.
He did a no-look pass, and the DB followed his eyes, and he scored a touchdown. He's like, don't blank and look at me.
Dude, they also it got better. He goes to the sideline and he goes, "Oh, I'm mic'd up, boys. You're gonna have to do a lot of editing. I'm mic'd up, boys."
I love that. Stafford had the no-look pass on a game-winning drive in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
One of the coldest plays of all
He's a
time, which,
stud.
in my opinion, doesn't get talked about enough.
Not at all.
I don't hear that no-look
No,
pass.
it
on
was
a
the Cooper Kupp.
game-winning Super Bowl drive. Like, what? In a game you won by 4? Stafford. What about Baker Mayfield?
Baker's
Oh.
there.
He's in the conversation
no
too.
one has thrown more touchdowns since he joined the Bucs than
Yeah.
Baker.
He's good.
So Jalen's got to be moving 10. Get to 10, man. Don't put him at 7.
I think he's somewhere right in there, like 7,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10.
I can go with
10.
7.
He's a 10.
Shake and bake has to be like number 6 at least.
I mean, but as
Baker
good as he's
Mayfield has to
been,
be number
you guys,
6.
you said it. He's gone to 2 Super Bowls. He won one.
yeah.
He was the MVP of it, and now he's got his team 4-0, and they're not even playing that good.
Right. And this was the case with them last year. This time last year, Philly fans wanted to fire Nick Sirianni.
Yeah,
That's true.
And they well, what did they go last year? 13 wins?
Yeah.
Something like that?
They have
when
one
AJ
loss in
Brown.
the last calendar year.
20-1.
They're 20 and 1 in the last 21.
They had A.J. Brown reading books on the sideline. Insane. I was like, what are you reading, man?
Now he's writing books because he certainly ain't catching passes.
Well, I will tell you
Don't
this.
jinx it.
I will tell you this. The first thing I did on Monday morning, I woke up, took a leak, and took the Broncos plus 4.5.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa,
Wow.
I woke up, took a leak, and took the Broncos plus 4.5.
So you're not
Wow.
at that point yet where you wake up in the middle of the night to take a leak.
No, not yet.
I just
Not
started.
Yet.
It's the worst.
I wake up in the middle of the night to place action. That's what I'll do.
Why so confident,
We
man?
asked the question a couple days ago. What are you doing when you're old? Like, what are the signs? Like, I take vitamins, right? I take a bunch of vitamins. So
Yeah.
Dover's like, you're old. His lady said that he was old because he's watching golf. I said, truly, it just comes down to the smoke crotch. You get gray hair down there, you're old. You're old.
The smoke crowd.
Yeah, I think waking up and using the facilities and then putting some action on the Broncos, that's not getting old.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
So, but my thought is, I've talked to Phil about this for actually about 2 weeks now. I'm like, man, for whatever reason, I have a good feeling about the Broncos playing up to the level of competition and going and giving Philly everything that they can handle, and the defense being the best version of themselves. And they haven't been the same running team. They just haven't. Their offensive line is different. Yeah. Mekhi Becton was an absolute animal playing right guard for them last year. He's now with the Chargers. He was a first-round pick, supposed to play tackle out of Louisville, like 6'7", 350. Well, that's a big absence there in the middle of their offensive line, and they're not running it the same. Their passing game isn't great. Did they have a completed pass in the second half?
0 for 8.
0 for 8 in the second half. So if the Broncos defense can meet the moment and you get the best version of the offense, the Broncos can go in there and win that game on the field. Forget the points. They can go in because they're also ripe to be had right now. And Philly, going back to last year and even a bit this year, has they beat Dallas 24-20. They beat Kansas City 20-17. They beat the Rams by one possession.
Block field goal.
They block field goal.
Yep.
They beat the Bucks by one possession. So they haven't blown anyone out, and they're just sitting there, and it's the NFL, and anyone can get got, and they're disjointed. And I think the Broncos are going to go in there and give them hell. I really do, Phil. I really believe it, and it's a reunion with Vic Fangio.
Yep.
This is the first time, right, that the Broncos
Godfather.
have intersected with Vic.
Yeah, and you know Vic has it on his calendar that he wants to make the Denver Broncos look bad.
Totally.
You know, that's how Vic is. Vic is one of them type of dudes that I know. One, he's a good dude, but he holds grudges.
Sure.
He's that old man that's
Sure.
he doesn't forget a lot of stuff that happens. You don't think, guys, remember that game, Zach, when Vic Fangio was upset with Harbaugh?
Of course
and
I
the
do.
Ravens.
Of course I do.
I guarantee you that he still has not forgot about that game. Therefore, being fired by the Denver Broncos, you don't think he's going to feel some type of way? You don't think he's talking to his team, his defense, about, hey, guys, you're going to have to help me out, that we're going to bring as much pressure as possible. We're going to pressure Bo Nix. We're going to force Sean Payton to get in his bag of tricks. Like Vic Fangio is going to have a great game plan going into this. He always has a great game plan as a defensive coordinator. Offensively and as a head coach, and we're going to talk about it later on, or we can talk about it now, as a head coach, he was not a player's coach. He kind of stayed quiet. He tried to talk to us and interact with us. It just seemed a little awkward. But he cared about his team, and he cared about us as players. And one thing he cared about us the most with was making sure that we handled our money the right way.
Yeah, I remember you saying that
Yeah,
last
Zach,
year, yeah.
Every Tuesday, I want to say it was every Tuesday, we had a money class. And he would sit us all down in the big room, and he would bring up different players that are doing well and different players that have failed at saving their money. And a lot of the players that he brought up, he coached. And
Sure.
still to this day talk to him.
Sure.
And he would go through scenarios and go through situations and just explain to us why it's important for us to save our money and why it is important to invest in the right things. And so I would always thank him for that, because I learned a lot from just him and sitting down with him. And I actually had the luxury, Zach, to be in the car
Right.
with old man Vic Fangio.
You're probably the only player on your team that had that experience where you're
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe Vaughn had that experience, but a lot of people didn't want to mess with Vic because he's just awkward.
Yeah.
But one day Vic came to me. It was at lunchtime, and he was talking about basketball. Vic Fangio loves basketball, and he was talking about Colorado. And I want to say at that time Colorado was doing decently. And so he said, "Hey Phil, when are we going to go to a game?" I'm thinking he's playing. I'm like, Coach, whenever you want to, like whatever you want to do, I'll get it done. I'm the man over there, talking that stuff.
sure.
And so the next day he comes up to me and says, "Hey, I want to go to a Buff game on this date." I'm like, wow, he is for real. So I was already a little nervous. I was like, man, I thought you were playing, Coach. He said, no, when are you picking me up? So not only did we have to go to the Buff game together, Zach,
That sounds like a nightmare. I'm not
I
going
had
to lie
to
to
pick
you.
this man up on a date.
Yeah.
He was already, so I get to his house, right? Nice house. Vic.
Sure.
Vic knows how to live lavish still. And he
Where,
had
where, in general, where did he live?
just cross, not too far from here.
Okay.
Not too far from the Broncos
Okay, and
facility.
so we're kind of here in the tech center, Greenwood
Yeah.
Village, Centennial.
Yeah, he wasn't far, So I pick him up, and he comes out with his collared shirt and some jeans on, and he gets in my car, and the first thing he says is, "Hey man, you're a little late." I'm like, "Coach, I had to try to figure out where you live, man. It was a little tough at the beginning. I mean, you're living big over here, so I had to go through a fence and everything else." He's like, "Okay." So then we get down the road, and we're heading up to Boulder, and as you get to Boulder, before you get kind of by baseline, road, it's like it's like 2 lanes.
It's a nightmare is what
It's
it is.
oh,
They should call it
exactly.
Nightmare Alley. No, it should, traffic way.
And so,
Bottlenecks.
and you know that.
I do.
So we're in traffic. The game's getting ready to start, so there's a bunch of people trying to get to the game, and people are getting off of work. So we're in this car, and it's already been kind of an awkward ride because I'm trying to ask him a bunch of questions just to
Keep conversation going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he kind of gives me these short answers. And we get to this.
Was he pissed off at you because you were actually late?
I think he was a little mad. I think he was like, hey, man, like, I really wanted to get there before the game started just to, like, look at the arena.
one of those, yeah.
But I was like, Coach, relax. Like, we're gonna get the full experience. Literally, right? We're sitting courtside. We're just sitting courtside.
Courtside.
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes, it was me, Vic Fangio, and Elway was on the other side. Now, I don't know how he got
John Elway?
Yes, he was courtside too.
You're kidding. Up in Boulder?
I'm telling you.
You've never shared that detail.
Yes, Elway was over there, and actually with that, and I'll get to that. I know we got to go.
Yeah.
But when we get there, he was already upset. He was upset that we're late. But one thing that will always stick with me with Vic Fangio is we're sitting there, and Elway's on the other side. And Vic comes up to me, or he's on the side of me and says, hey, your contract's up almost, right? This is the time to go over there and talk to Elway a little bit. Just rub shoulders. When he told me that, it was like, wow, Vic cares about me and he knows what's going on. Like you can appreciate that from a coach to at least tell you that much.
Sure. Hey, like you need to politic a little bit.
Exactly. Hey, Elway's over there. How about you go talk to him? I know your contract's coming up. Right? It's just like certain things like that Vic would do. He's very calculated, but he cared about his players and still does till this day.
Really great story. I love that story. And Vic and a Bronco reunion this Sunday at 11 a.m. here local, Lincoln Financial Field. Fangio going back up against the Broncos. Wow, I love it. It's juicy. We'll get into that Vic factor throughout the afternoon, hear from some folks about that dynamic. But first, what are the Broncos' new playoff probability after bludgeoning the Bengals? And how about an updated win total? That's all next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
What's up, guys? Phillip Lindsay here for Williams Jewelers. And if you're looking for a new timepiece or just want to upgrade to something nicer, then you need to go to Williams Jewelers. They're here to help you out. And I went to Williams Jewelers to find a new watch. And thanks to them, I now have a beautiful Tudor watch on my wrist. And they treated me just like family the minute I stepped through those doors. I was able to ask questions without feeling dumb. They truly made me feel comfortable and didn't pressure me at all. And I feel really good about the decision I made because of that. Starting from one little store in Inglewood, Williams Jewelers has scratched and clawed their way to the top and now have 2 locations and have become one of the largest fine jewelers in the country. So why wouldn't you want to shop where some of the world's leading designers are sold? When you step foot into their showroom, you're going to feel just like family because they are family and their service reflects that. They are dedicated and they work hard to make sure you're satisfied with your purchase. And not only will they share the secrets of the business with you, but they will give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, my hometown jeweler, also the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers. Located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also on Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Every great game comes down to one thing, the drive. And right now it's time to make yours count at Groove Toyota. Get into a new Toyota, a certified pre-owned Toyota, or shop our huge selection of used vehicles. All priced right and ready to move with limited time offers in Colorado's best lineup of Tacomas, Tundras, SUVs, and more. Don't wait on the sidelines. These deals won't last. Make your move today at Groove Toyota on South Broadway in Inglewood. Or start shopping now at GrooveToyota.com.
Planning out your holiday pictures? Let's move you to the front because at Soda Weight Loss, you could drop the belly fat and gain your confidence back, just like Ramon.
Soda gave me more than a smaller waistline. It gave me back the confidence to wear what I want. No injections, no hunger, just a plan that works.
Right now, the most popular offer of the season is back. Join today and your partner joins free. Visit SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
If you've been injured in Colorado, you want Wilhite. After an accident, you want Colorado's accident experts on your side, the Wilhite Law Firm. Get your free case review right now. Just call 303-GOOD-LAW today or visit wilhitewins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Do you have an IRS tax problem that's keeping you up at night? Stop worrying and start learning how to fix it. Join Todd from Advanced Tax Solutions for a free workshop on the 7 ways to fix a tax problem on Wednesday, October 8th at 5:30 and get answers. When will the taxes expire? It's possible this could just go away. Could you settle with the IRS for less than you owe? Get free advice, a plan, and a licensed pro guiding you. To sign up for this free workshop, call 303-753-6040.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Roller Auction.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Wednesday, October 1st. October. Woo! We have turned the page.
My favorite month.
It is?
Halloween.
Is it?
Halloween.
Halloween is your favorite holiday?
Yeah, remember when we did that? I think we did this.
I think we did like a year ago. We did.
Maybe even earlier than that, a couple months ago.
Really?
It was one of those days where we were just asking a question about
like, did we
what's
rank
your
our
favorite-
holidays?
Yeah, what's your favorite holiday? And I said Halloween, and you looked at me crazy like you're looking at me
Yes, I am. I'm a bit disturbed. Whose favorite holiday is Halloween?
I love the horror
That little
movies,
Michael
man.
Myers?
Yeah, Michael Myers in there.
Yeah. Spooky season.
31 Nights of Halloween. As a kid, I used to love that, and I try to watch every day. I try to watch something scary.
Yeah.
For 31 nights.
What's your favorite? And we'll get to our stuff here in a second.
Yeah.
What's your favorite horror movie? What's your favorite scary movie?
The Conjuring.
Oh, I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, and now there's like 4 of them.
Right.
There's 4. I want to say 4.
Yep.
They just came out with the last one.
Yep.
And it's demonic stuff. You have to have a priest there to help out. It's scary. It's something scary. The first one is the scariest one, for sure, hands down.
Yep.
And yeah, man, for some reason I like the horror movies.
My
wife doesn't, so I don't get to really watch them that often.
So you watch them alone.
That's it.
That's scary, man. I do not like watching a scary movie by myself, but I will do it. I will do it from time to time. And it's like torture, and I make myself go through it, and I don't know why, because I'll sort of sit there like almost like with my proverbial eyes like covered, but kind of peeking out. The Ring, when I first saw The Ring's the scariest movie I ever saw. Like,
The Ring.
Like when I was in the theater, there was like 17 to 20 of us. Teenagers.
Of course, you guys were young at that time.
Yes, I was probably 16,
Just
something
getting
like
to high
that.
school.
Yeah, and maybe a sophomore, I want to say, and I was so scared. There's just think 20 of us in the theater all together. All think we're hot. You know what, right? And about 25 minutes into the movie, I stood up and said, "I am leaving this movie. Anyone who wants to come with me can." and about 8 people stood up and left with me. No joke.
Like, I'm
no
done being a
joke.
follower. I'm a leader now. Whoever
I
wants
swear
to
to
stand
God.
with me, stand now.
Swear to God. Now, I eventually made myself watch it when it came out on DVD at the time, and it just scared me to my core. But like Exorcism of Emily Rose, you ever see that one?
Oh yeah.
That scared the hell out of me. Really good though. You guys behind the glass, you guys scary movie people at all?
I like the movie Scary Movie.
Oh,
The movie Scary Movie.
Like those are great, but actual scary movies, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Drew?
Not at all. Give me a comedy any day of the week.
Yeah, see, and I can't, a lot of times I can't sit there and watch a comedy.
Yeah, I know. It's sometimes with the comedy is like people try too hard. Like back in the day, the comedy back in the day, that was funny. But now it just seems like people are trying too damn hard. Like the new Happy Gilmore movie.
That one, oof.
Too cheesy. Too cheesy,
Yeah,
man.
no, that was not a good one.
Well, tell me this. Why is it, and maybe I'm the only one, and as a kid, it was something that happened all the time. When you're downstairs,
Yeah.
you turn the lights off, you start walking up the stairs. Do you start to feel somebody behind you? I was always the type of kid that would just run up the stairs, even if I had to use my hands and my legs together.
Oh, yeah, totally. Me too.
I wonder what that is,
Bro,
what that's all about.
Dude, see, I grew up in a house where the basement was dark and wet and concrete, low exposed pipes. It was not like my kids, they have no frame of reference because they go down in the basement and there's a rug, there's a basketball hoop, a bathroom, like all this stuff.
Oh, another TV.
Dude, my basement was scary. And when we'd have to go down, because my mom was a trip. And we started complaining about laundry, okay, when we were like 10, 11 years old. Like, Mom, I don't want to wear this. I don't, started like speaking up, like, Mom, where's my baseball shirt? Like, it's supposed to be ready.
Mom.
Like my uniform is supposed to be ready. Like, started complaining like that.
Yeah.
She brought me and my brother downstairs, and this was just who she was. It's for the same reason she kicked me out of the house when I was 16, 17, same reason why she did this. She brought us down the basement. She said, if you need to bring a pen and paper, go ahead. But I am teaching you dudes how to do the laundry. I am not doing your guys' laundry anymore.
Ooh.
Dude, I was like 11.
Yeah.
And so that meant when I had to do my laundry, it was going down in the basement by myself. And it would the steps were wooden and creaky, and it was just a nightmare down there. And yeah, I remember it vividly, man. I used to be so petrified as a boy.
So you don't like Halloween? I see. I understand,
bro. I told you this before, but my mom, she was on one. She would pull our ass right out of school, bro. Pull us out of
tough
school.
Mama, though. That's what happens though when you have to handle business.
Yeah, she was raising me and my brother, and she said, "Look, I wasn't perfect. I was just trying to do the best I could day by day." And she would Halloween, all the kids would dress up like going to the apple orchard. Like you're not dressing up. We're not, all that stuff. It was a very unique, and and again, like part of the reason my mom and how unique she was is the reason I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
Because when her and my dad split in like 94, and she's like, yo, we're not getting another TV. So I grew up without a television in my home. Think about how strange. I'm growing up in the 2000s.
Yeah.
It's
the prime.
And so I grew up reading the newspaper and listening to the radio like people did in the 40s. Even by the end of the 50s, most American households had TV. So I've told this story, before, but
so you were getting radio reps at the age of 8.
Dude, I started calling into local sports. I remember the show Murphy's Law, Sound Off with Sync Off. I'd be calling these local Albany radio shows, getting on the air, and then I started to call the national ones, and I'd get through. I was 16, 17 on Jim Rome. Dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it. It was unique. It was different. But I wouldn't trade it because it led me to like a passion, sports radio. You know. So anyway, not the start I had envisioned. What's your favorite kind of candy for Halloween?
I'm going with the Snickers.
Snickers.
Don't
Love a Snickers.
give me a candy corn. Don't give me the candy corn.
No.
Who likes that?
No.
Drew looks like a guy that likes candy corn.
Favorite Halloween candy. Favorite Halloween candy, boys?
I love like the Reese's, but they come in like pumpkin shape.
Of course.
For Halloween, those are the best.
Love Reese's. Drew?
I'm so lame. Give me plain M&Ms all day, every day.
All right.
Love plain M&Ms.
Yeah.
Love plain M&Ms.
Nothing wrong with them.
Give me a Kit Kat. I love a Kit Kat.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
All right, Broncos, new playoff probability. Updated win total coming up next.
The Broncos bounced back in a major way and blew out the Bengals in prime time. With a short week ahead, will Sean Payton find a way to keep the momentum rolling on offense? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here on behalf of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about how you're feeling. Not necessarily how you're feeling emotionally today, although that can be impacted by low testosterone if you're feeling sluggish because your sleep patterns are off, all right? You're not feeling great about yourself because you don't make it to the gym like you used to, and when you do drag yourself there, it's exactly that, a drag. And hopefully you're not putting on weight or feeling sad or depressed about these dynamics. Believe it or not, these could all be tied back to symptoms of low testosterone, all right? Which happens to us men. You didn't do anything wrong. Go take the low T quiz at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Simple 10 questions, yes or no answers, takes 2 minutes. But from there, you can schedule a consult. All right, they'll draw your blood. They'll have the results within 30 minutes. A Colorado licensed medical provider will review those results with you. All right, discuss your options, and you'll make a decision together with their medical team. There's really no pressure. Cost of the appointment is only $99. That includes a medical consult, AT, and PSA test. And if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is completely free. Fellas, we have one life to live. Don't wonder if you're suffering from low testosterone. Go take the low T quiz at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Whether it's kickoff, halftime, or the final drive, fuel your football season at Dickey's Barbecue Pits. Order the two can dine for $29.99 deal. Two meat plates stacked with pit smoke flavor. Or go for the new triple play combo. A classic sandwich, savory side, and a big yellow cup for just $12.99. No matter who you're rooting for, great barbecue is always a win. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, legit. Texas barbecue.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Being dependable for your family. We get it. At Corwin Toyota, we've been family-driven for over 100 years. So when you need a ride that fits your whole crew, or even your carpool, rain or shine, we hope to show you how our family can take care of yours. Corwin Toyota, family driven for over 100 years.
The Fed has finally dropped interest rates, and that's great news for American homeowners. Wages are flat, prices keep climbing, and for many, the only way to make ends meet is to lean on credit cards. If you're a homeowner, I want you to call my friends at American Financing. Right now, interest rates have dropped. Many homeowners are seeing options in the low 5s. Compare that to credit cards charging rates in the 20s or higher. American Financing can help you pay off that expensive debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your budget under control. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving customers an average of $800 a month. And if you get started today, you may be able to delay your next mortgage payment. Call American Financing today at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.327% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. Navigating personal injury claims on your own can feel like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Don't let things fall apart. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law. Online at flanagan.law.
Introducing Slate, the cure for overpriced, overcomplicated cars. It's a truck, it's an SUV, it's whatever you need it to be. Reserve yours at slate.auto.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff baseball action continues as Boston faces New York, followed by Cincinnati and LA on the Fan starting at 7.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at wistaracu.com.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, let's get this show back on track. Well, not even back on track. We're never on track.
We didn't even start.
That's how we.
We're still at the starting line.
Yeah, went down it was an October rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's October 1st.
So scary movies, favorite Halloween candy. Definitely was not planning to start that way, but we just sort of did. So all good. Playoff probability, Mr. Phillip Lindsay.
Here we go.
After bludgeoning the Bengals. And how about an updated win total? What do you want to hear first? A playoff probability or win total?
Let's go with the win total. Playoff probability. We're still fresh into the season. We're going into week 5. Let's go with the win total.
So last week when we did this exercise and we're citing ESPN's Football Power Index, when they gather every data point known to man when it comes to the game of football and they simulate all the games of the NFL season. All right, is it scientific? It's not. Is this gospel? It's not. It's just a sort of tool using advanced data as just a reference point of the forecast of the season. So last week when we did this, the Broncos had a projected win total of 8.7. The Broncos' current projected win total is 9.1. So it definitely went up. You're officially into the 9s. So your projected record at this point would be 9 wins, 8 losses.
That's a winning record.
That is a winning record. Not as big of a jump as you would like to think after getting a 2-2 though.
Yeah, you would of course you want to see like 10 wins, 11 wins, but you have to handle business early. The Denver Broncos did not do that at the beginning. They did not beat the Colts. They did not beat the Chargers. But you're 2-2. The sky is not falling.
It's not falling.
Everything is in front of you. You still control your own destiny.
It's true.
You still have to play the Chargers again. You haven't played the Raiders. You haven't played the Chiefs. So it's going to be fun here. And this is where now we have to take a step back because there's been a lot of commotion. Sean's like, yo, you better get your act together, Sean. You did a lot of talking. But now for Sean, it's like, hey, this is when I start to win. It's October. It's October for Sean Payton. And you said this earlier, Zach, but for October, Sean has a record historically in his career, 47 wins, 16 losses. And I think Sean's looking at that too, like, hey, this is when my team start playing ball. Why? Because I put a lot on their plate. I'm putting a lot on Bo Nick's plate, and now he's starting to get it. Now the receivers are starting to understand it, the offensive line, the running backs. Defensively, we know that that's the backbone, and they have to do their part. But Sean, for some odd reason in his career, he turns it on in October. So that's another thing to look forward to. But, man, 9 wins, Zach, we got to get that up a little bit more.
Yeah, and look, if you win this weekend, it's going to spike, all right? But even if you don't win and you win your next 2 against the Jets and Giants, which should absolutely happen, the season's going to just continue to unfold. I just think these are interesting reference points from where the Broncos are currently at. So in terms of playoff probability, playoff chances 1 week ago was 49%. All right? So about a coin flip, but under 50%. Playoff probability today on the 1st of October, 53%. So still close to a coin flip, but you're on the right side of the halfway point.
Let me ask you this. After examining 4 games, and it's only 4 games, guys, so relax. Do you believe that this is a playoff team? Does this look like a playoff team, the Denver Broncos? You look at the Buffalo Bills, that's a playoff team.
Yeah.
You look at the Baltimore Ravens, I don't know. On papers, they look like a playoff team. They have a bunch of people back. They have Lamar Jackson. You got Derrick Henry, but yet they're 1-3.
Yeah, and they have issues. They have some of the most missed tackles in pro football right now.
So defense is just struggling. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs at one point, you're saying, hey, they lost it. But then after beating the Baltimore Ravens, it's like they're back in the mix, just like the Denver Broncos. They're 2-2.
Yeah, and not just beating them, hanging 37 on them.
Does this look, the Denver Broncos, like a playoff team as of right now?
It just depends what side of them I want to look at.
Okay.
Right? So
I like this one.
Sometimes you see a woman from the back, and it creates a certain type of thought.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
She turns around, that thought could flip.
You know, they call it the butterface.
Well, so it just depends what side. So, like, if I'm looking at the Broncos from the back and it's the defense, I'm like, damn. Turn around, I see that offense, I'm like, ooh, you thrived during COVID, the mask era.
We need to help. Yeah, get a little makeup on. No makeup.
No, I mean, kidding aside, goodness gracious. Kidding aside, the Broncos defense looks absolutely like a playoff team. Broncos offense, not so much, and they have a long way to go, particularly when it comes to the passing offense. And so it's tricky because right now, like this playoff probability of 50% and projected win total of 9.1, I can be hopeful that it will change, and I actually am. But based on the information that we know right now, this lines up with exactly sort of how I would view them if you asked me to project, what it would look like. Not ESPN's Football Power Index. So,
for sure.
How about you?
No, I'm looking at this roster right now and watching these games throughout the league. Denver is definitely a playoff team, but it's not just about getting to the playoffs now. It's about being believable that, hey, you can beat the Buffalo Bills. That if the Kansas City Chiefs end up getting there and they do look good, you can beat them. And at times, even for the offense, it's so inconsistent. But, like, one thing that as long as Sean obeys his eyes, like we continue to say, and I feel like a broken record saying it, but, like, it's the truth, and runs the ball a lot more and starts to really get into, like, running the ball and using that to kind of catapult the offense, they're a playoff team that can make some noise because you know it just like I do, just like our listeners. If you're going to have success in the playoffs, you have to have a quarterback, obviously. Usually you have to have a tight end. Every team has some type of tight end. The Buffalo Bills have one. The Ravens have one. You go down the line.
Chiefs, Eagles.
Yep. And then majority of them have a run game. That's something that the Denver Broncos lacked last year. We didn't have a tight end in the building that can stress a defense, and we didn't have a run game. But now that it seems like we start to have a run game, and we do have tight ends. Now, I don't know what this looks like later on down the line with Evan Ingram. Hopefully we can get him going, but he's still there. We have a chance to make some noise now. So this is a playoff team, but there's still a lot of football left.
Yeah, still a lot left. Still a lot to prove.
Yes.
Now, let's just build out. So I told you the projected record right now is 9-8. The playoff probability is 53%, up from 49 week over week. You want to hear the odds to win the division?
Let's do it.
Last week, it was 8% likelihood that the Broncos won the AFC West. This week, it's close to double at just about 15%.
All right.
About 15% likelihood to still win the division. Okay. Long way to go there. How about the probability to make the divisional round of the NFL playoffs? So make the playoffs and win your first game, and you're playing on divisional weekend, which is my personal favorite weekend of the football calendar.
This is what you want. You want to win at least one playoff game, right?
That would be a bona fide success, right? Where there'd be no dissenting opinion. Everyone in Broncos country would agree. You're back in the playoffs, double-digit wins, and winning a playoff game that would be like tangible growth. The chances of that happening is currently, according to ESPN's Football Power Index, collecting all the data known to man and thousands of simulations, chance to make it to the divisional round, Broncos have around a 27% chance.
I want that a little higher, Zach. Now, I understand it's 4 games. Like we dropped 2 already. If we're 4-0, it's a completely different thing we're talking about. So we have a lot of work to do. But this cannot be the year where we just get back to the playoffs and it's okay. It's a successful season. We all know that. Sean opened his mouth and said that this could be a Super Bowl team. Sean opened his mouth and said Bo Nix can take that next jump. We all believe that. Well, the next jump is not just getting to the playoffs, but winning a game. Then you go from there. So we got a lot of work to do.
Couple more odds here to bounce off of you. A chance that the Broncos play in the AFC Championship game, around 12.5%. Chance the Broncos go all the way to the Super Bowl, 6%.
So you're saying we got a chance.
I would take that right now. It's technically 5.9, so but 6% chance to be in the Super Bowl. Chance to win the Super Bowl, 2.8% chance as of today on October 1st. So just about 3%. So do with that what you will. RamosLaw.com text line is available as a sounding board, 303-713-1043. Where is Deion Sanders' head at after a disappointing start to the season? We'll hear from Deion next.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
Injured in an accident? Don't just hope for help. Demand results. At Postman Law, we handle it all. Car crash, workplace injury, or wrongful death. We deliver fast, effective, and personalized legal representation, powered by a team that's recovered over $3 billion for clients nationwide. We have taken on some of the biggest companies in the country and won. Our tech-driven approach means your case moves fast with clear updates every step of the way. So when you call 844-POSTMAN, you know you're getting speed, ease, and results. You're not just another case. You're a person who deserves justice. And from the moment you call, we're in your corner. You'll have a dedicated attorney and case manager fighting to get you every dollar you deserve. And remember, you don't pay unless we win. So don't wait. Call 844-POSTMAN now for your free case review. That's 844-POSTMAN. Because others promise, Postman Law delivers.
Texting
privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text STUDENT to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text STUDENT to 323232 right now. Text STUDENT to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's STUDENT to 323232. Text STUDENT to 323232 now.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, where is Deion Sanders' head at after a disappointing start to the season? We'll hear from Deion here in just about 10 seconds. But first, this Friday, we are headed to Low High for Bud Light Football Friday. We're going to be broadcasting live from Recess Beer Garden from 2 to 6 p.m. Bud Light is going to be giving away a pair of tickets to Broncos Giants on October 19th, along with 2 Bud Light VIP tailgate passes. Must be 21 to enter that contest. Do not have to be 21 to hang out with us at Recess Beer Garden. Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the Denver Broncos. Would love to see you on Friday. Okay. Deion Sanders. It's safe to say that it's a disappointing start to the season, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no pushback on that one, Zach. You want to win all your games or close to it, and the Buffs aren't doing that.
All right. Well, he was asked in some sort of roundabout way, like, can you point to the NIL dynamic as a part of the reason for the start? And this is what Deion said.
We can't blame it on the money. I mean, no, I'm not. I'm not saying you are, but it sounds that way. Like people would interpret that's what you're saying. We can't blame it on that. We've played good football except for one darn game. You know, Houston was horrible. Okay, we didn't play well. The other 2 games, we had an opportunity to win those games. I mean, to win those games against ranked opponents. Sure. We just didn't get it done. We had opportunities. 10 points, 2 ranked opponents. That game was decided, both those games. So we can't cry. We don't have the money. It's not that. It's just at the conclusion of the season, when you look back on things, when you look over your shoulder, you're going to see what we said. And that media day, some of the top teams are going to be there. And this is the commonality that they share. But it's some great coaches out there coaching way above that, you know, and prayerfully that don't catch up with them. But I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm not going to cry broke just because we dropped that money. It had nothing to do with those 2 games that we dropped.
I really like that response from Deion Sanders.
Oh, I'm glad you do, Zach. I'm glad. I didn't know what you're going to say.
How do I pick my issues with Deion?
A la carte.
A la carte. That's all. And that is a strong response, and he is he's keeping it real. He's keeping it real. One, he can't cry broke because it's going to create this dynamic of, dude, you're one of the 5 highest paid coaches in the sport. But he's not. He didn't even go there. He didn't want to go there, and he shouldn't go there. During the season, this is the team you assembled. You're known as the Portal King. You're supposed to be this great recruiter. You can't have those titles and then turn around and complain about lack of NIL.
No, and he didn't do that. He was like, hey, look, man, we had opportunities, which they did. Against BYU, it was there for the taking. Against Georgia Tech, it was there for the taking. But it's about finishing football games. It's about being fundamentally sound and going through game time situations that are going to come up. And then when they do come up, your players are ready for the moment. Your coaches are ready for the moment. And at times, Zach, it seems like they're not ready for the moment, both players and coaches. So they have to do something about that. I also do know when I've been on the Colorado Buffaloes when we were just not good.
Yeah.
And Zach, we would go in there. We were well coached. And we would go in there and we would battle for 3 quarters, but it's a 4-quarter game. You look up in the 4th quarter and either we got blown out in the 4th quarter or we end up losing by a field goal because we didn't know how to finish games. It wasn't until 2016 when we got a little older, we started to understand the game, the college game. We started to stick together and make plays because players make plays, players win games. That's when we started to finish games and we started to blow out some teams, but also we won a lot of games because of that. The Colorado Buffaloes right now, those players on that field, they're playing good football at times, but they're not putting a whole 60-minute football game together, and there's a bunch of opportunities that they're missing out on, whether it's because of penalties or they're just not making the plays. So Deion's right, and I'm glad he's not making an excuse. They got to go to work. They have to find a way to win the next game.
Yep, and here's what I can promise Deion, and he already knows this, so he doesn't need a promise from me, but no one is going to feel sorry for Deion Sanders and the Buffs. No one. So you got to go do it. You got to go execute. This was a really interesting soundbite that we're about to play. Deion was asked about the offense. All right, listen to this response.
Let's just say the offense. Let's not single anyone out right now. Not lost for words, just trying to frame it. I want them to play like their life is on the line, like their careers are on the line, like the payment for a car is on the line, the payment for a home is on the line, like they have children depending on them, and some do. I just want them to play with full intensity and passion. And when you walk off that field, you look back and say, I gave him all. That's all any coach wants.
Interesting. I mean, you hear him, like, quite literally. Like,
yeah, it was a little dramatic. Like, are we listening to Shannon Sharp?
Yes.
We listening to Shannon Sharp footage, or what are we doing here?
Like, what the hell is happening?
I got a little uncomfortable over here.
Oh my gosh. But you can hear just how serious he got in that moment when it talked about his offense. And, he's thinking of certain players, I think, when he's saying this. And I just thought that was one of the more interesting responses, and Deion's had a million of them since coming to Boulder.
Yeah.
But that one, it sticks out of like he didn't know how to frame what he wanted to say.
Now tell me this. Do you think it was a bunch of players, or do you think it was one player? Do you think it was just the players, or do you think it was maybe one player and the offensive coordinator? Because it all goes hand in hand. I mean, throughout that game, Pat Shermer called a good game at the beginning, the first 15.
Yeah.
Very creative.
Yep.
But then it went out the window.
It did.
It was just like, hey, like we're back to square one yet again. And so I just wonder if Deion's looking at this like, Pat Shermer, you're not doing your part in a 60-minute football game, but also the quarterback, because the quarterback touches the ball on every single play.
Yeah.
You're not doing your part at the end of games to close it out.
Correct.
That's why I asked.
No, I think that makes a ton of sense. And if we were to guess and we're speculating, it's Caden Salter. But when he switched and said, your career is on the line as well, it's like, ooh, he might be thinking of Pat Shermer when he said that. So Very interesting audio coming out of Boulder from yesterday. Another just incredible opportunity against TCU on the road, 5:30 on Fox. Sonny Dykes is going to have those boys ready to roll in what is a payback game from the opener from 2023. We might have to save some of that.
Cut it. Cut it, DG. Something's going on.
All right. Could the Broncos have a defensive player of the year in back-to-back seasons? The answer for me is yes. I'll explain my case. Also, we're at the traditional NFL quarter poll. What does the Broncos progress report look like? That's next.
The streak is over. J.K. Dobbins ran all over the Bengals and became the first 100-yard rusher for the Broncos in nearly 40 games. With Dobbins and Harvey both gaining steam, has Denver found a new recipe for success on offense? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
This is Hall of Famer Terrell Davis. Football season is here, and there's nothing like a fresh start, on the field or on the road. If you're looking for a new car or want to refinance your current loan, Colorado Credit Union has the winning play with low rates and fast approvals. Whether you need a truck for tailgating or a car for the daily drive, Colorado Credit Union would help you get there. Visit ccu.org to apply today. Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank. Membership eligibility required. Not all applicants will qualify. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Chernak from Denver Regenerative Medicine. When it comes to healing, there's no one-size-fits-all. Every patient receives a unique treatment plan designed just for them. We use either your own stem cells or carefully selected donor cells to treat degenerative joints, torn muscles and ligaments, and even back injuries. Our goal is lasting healing without unnecessary surgery. And right now, we're offering 10% off treatments through October. Schedule your free consultation today at DenverRegen.com. That's DenverRegen.com.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Imagine your home quieter, cooler, and more beautiful with the new Infinity from Marvin windows. Right now, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton is offering 25% off. These aren't ordinary windows. They're built to outlast, outperform, and turn heads. Family owned since 1973, trusted across Colorado, and they never cut corners. Call them 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Don't delay. Quality costs less than regret.
Every great game comes down to one thing, the drive. And right now it's time to make yours count at Groove Toyota. Get into a new Toyota, a certified pre-owned Toyota, or shop our huge selection of used vehicles. All priced right and ready to move with limited time offers in Colorado's best lineup of Tacomas, Tundras, SUVs, and more. Don't wait on the sidelines. These deals won't last. Make your move today at Groove Toyota on South Broadway in Inglewood, or start shopping now at GrooveToyota.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
If you've been injured in an auto accident, Dr. Joseph Ramos is both a doctor and a lawyer, combining legal and medical expertise. He can help. Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. RamosLaw.com.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff baseball action continues as Boston faces New York, followed by Cincinnati and LA on The Fan starting at 7.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
Leading off with a big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. Hanging out with you on the first day of October. Wacky first hour there. Wacky first hour. Someone said you guys have Friday energy on a Wednesday. I think I agree with that.
Okay. Spooky season.
Spooky season. We have a lot to cover here. We're not going to go to commercial break for about another 25 minutes, so we have plenty of time to get through this stuff. I want to do one of these classic build a case for someone. Okay?
All right.
And
you got your information, everything ready?
Come on, bro.
You got the book out?
Don't disrespect me. So I want to get into because Phil, for generations, the NFL had 16 game seasons, and this was the traditional quarter of the way.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you had coaches of hey, this is our goal through the first 4 games or all that stuff.
You break it down. That's what I remember doing. Hey, the first 4 games, the next 4 games, and so on. That's how you were supposed to do it. Now it's harder because you got 17 games. But you can still kind of do it that same way, except you want to usually in a 17-game season, Zach, you want to start out fast. So you want to win 3 of the 5 games.
Sure.
And you're in great shape if you can do that.
Sure. So I want to get to that because it's the traditional quarter pole, and this was like the time of the school year, about 25% of the way there, when that first progress report got sent home. And so we'll do a progress report. We'll look at the offense, the defense, Bo Nix, Sean Payton. All right, those 4 principles. But before we do that, could the Broncos have Defensive Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons? I think the answer is yes. All right, so you be the judge and jury, and I'll be the lawyer to argue my case, okay?
Let's go.
I said this yesterday, but I mean this. I mean this genuinely. I believe Nick Bonito is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He's got the highest pressure rate of any player through the first 4 games since Next Gen started measuring pressure data back in 2018. All right, he's leading the league in pressures. He had 6 pressures on Monday night, a sack and a half on 19 rushes. He's got 4.5 sacks in 4 games. All right, and he's tied second in the NFL in sacks. The only 2 players that have more sacks right now than Nick Bonito is Brian Burns from the Giants and Byron Young from the Los Angeles Rams. All right, and if you look at the history of this award, the Pat Surtain, and I know we've talked about this, but Pat Surtain is an anomaly. Only 3 cornerbacks in the last 30 years have won Defensive Player of the Year. It's PS2, it's Rod Woodson, and it's Stephon Gilmore. That's it. That's the list. This favors Nick Bonito, though, because guys who get after the quarterback typically win this award. the Myles Garretts, the Nick Bosas, TJ Watt, Khalil Mack, JJ Watt, Terrell Suggs, like the guys who bring the quarterback to the ground more often than not win this award. And you look at the way that the odds have shifted around Nick Bonitto. On October 1st, and this is all real, on October 1st, Nick Bonitto was 60-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm a proud holder of a 60-1 Nick Bonitto ticket for Defensive Player of the Year back in August. That's where he was on August 1st. On September 1st, he was 40-1.
Okay.
And today on October 1st, he is 15-1. They have played 4 football games, Phil, and he has gone from 60-1 to 15-1. There are only 3 players ahead of Nick Bonitto in the likelihood by the odds to win Defensive Player of the Year. That's Aiden Hutchinson, it's Micah Parsons, and it's Myles Garrett. That's the list ahead of Bonitto. And someone could be saying, well, Zach, they just gave, or not gave, but Pat Surtain was just voted Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
They're not going to give it to another Bronco. There's precedent. It can happen. Back in 2003, Ray Lewis won Defensive Player of the Year. The next year, his teammate, Ed Reed, won Defensive Player of the Year. Back in the 90s, 1995 Defensive Player of the Year from the Buffalo Bills, Bryce Pupp. The next year, in 1996, there was a guy named Bruce Smith who won Defensive Player of the Year, the all-time sack leader. You go back to the 70s, in 1974, 75, 76. Believe it or not, the Steelers produced 3 different Defensive Player of the Year award winners in a row in Joe Green, Mel Blount, and Jack Lambert. So 3 times we've seen teammates go back-to-back. All right. So from the pressure rate that I'm seeing, from the odds going from 60-1 to 15-1, and only 3 players ahead of Bonitto, for him being second in the NFL in sacks and only 2 players in front of him there, to the precedent of this happening 3 separate times in NFL history, that is my argument why I believe Nick Bonitto is going to go on to win Defensive Player of the Year.
So tell me this: if Nick Bonitto leads the league in sacks, is that enough to win Defensive Player of the Year? Is that enough?
It'll be huge in his unto itself it won't be. He's got to lead the league in sacks, and the Broncos have to be a very good football team.
So they have to be a playoff team.
Because we've seen Trey Hendrickson lead the league in sacks, and he didn't win the award. We've seen Shaq Barrett lead the league in sacks. He didn't win the award. So you have to do a couple things. Be amongst league leaders, have game-changing plays, play for a winning team, and there's 2 other things that I think you have to have. 1, moments in prime time.
Yes.
Which
that's exactly what I was going to say.
He just started to stack up on Monday Night Football. And the other thing, and this doesn't get talked about, but I've referenced this for years, Nick Bonitto has already gone through the awareness year. Myles Garrett was a top pick. He didn't have to go through an awareness year.
All eyes was on Myles Garrett from the start.
Von Miller was the second pick. He didn't have to go through an awareness year. Trey Hendrickson, he had to go through an awareness period. Shaq Barrett, he had to go. So when you become a member of the NFL consciousness, you're a household name. And Bonitto's year a season ago, and what he did on prime time, it's like, Nick Bonitto, I remember he was on Scott Van Pelt after Monday Night Football. Oh, yeah, he was on Pat McAfee. Like, he's already gone through that period.
Yeah, people know his name, and he just got this big-time contract.
That's another thing.
And so everybody's already, it's on their radar that, okay, why did Denver just pay him big-time money?
Yep.
Let's tune in. Let's see what they're talking about. And then if Nick Bonitto goes off like he has so far, 4.5 sacks, it makes sense. Now, you did say something earlier where it's like he needs the primetime games to help him out. Well, Denver has 4 of them. They just played 1 of them against Cincy.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if you want to consider London a primetime game.
I would.
Okay,
I would
so
because
it's
not at night, but it's a standalone NFL game.
All right, so now you have 4 more primetime games left. Now, in my eyes, it's not just about the sacks. It's about doing other things like he did last year. We're talking about Nick Bonitto. It's the forced fumbles. It's the interception. It's the fumble recovery taken back to the house to win the game, like you just said earlier, where they're game-changing plays. Nick Bonitto needs to turn that up. Now, yeah, of course, this is early, and it's hard to do. It's easier to say, but go out there and have to do it for a second straight year, it's hard to do. But if you're an elite pass rusher, it's going to come to you. If you're a smart pass rusher like Nick Bonitto is, the ball will find him. So as long as Nick Bonitto can continue to get the sacks and stay consistent with that and make a couple bigger plays, all right, forced fumble, like I said, maybe another interception on prime time, he has a great chance to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, I love it. The fact that we're ultimately, whether he wins it or not, all right, it's like what you hope is, this was the same conversation with Bo last year for Offensive Rookie of the Year. You just hope that you're in the conversation when the weather gets cold. And that's where I believe this thing is trending. But if he can keep pace with the start that he's off to, if he could have a game where he's having 2-3 sacks,
oh yeah,
I mean, this thing is going to start taking on a life of its own if he can continue this type of production. So
it's like pick your poison. This is why he will continue to have success. Are you going to double team him if you're an opponent? Are you going to chip him? Because if you do that, like I said yesterday, who's going to block Jonathan Cooper? Who's going to block Zach Allen?
Right. This is not Trey Hendrickson,
No.
where he's your first and second on the scouting report. You can't play the Broncos defense like that. You just can't. So what an opportunity. What an opportunity for Nick Bonito. And I just want to look at the primetime games left while we're right here. So this coming, right after Philly, I'm considering that game a standalone game. Okay.
In London.
In London. The numbers are out from this past week. Who was it? Vikings and who the heck was it this past weekend?
Steelers.
The Vikings and Steelers.
Yeah.
The numbers on it are gargantuan. They're massive. Okay. So that I'm counting as a primetime game. The Las Vegas on Thursday Night Football here in Denver, Week 10 is a primetime game. Sunday Night Football against Washington.
That's a big one right there. Sunday Night Football, Washington. We'll see how Washington's doing at that time. Jaden Daniels, hopefully he should be back by the time, but he's hurt.
Yeah, he's questionable, I think, coming into this week. But that's always the most watched game of the week is Sunday Night Football, so that would be a big one, Week 13 for Nick Bonito. And then there's Kansas City on Christmas night on Prime Video. So he has got real opportunities, and if he can just keep getting after the quarterback and maximize these opportunities in front of the world, you've already gone through the awareness period. Now that gives you the ability to reach out and grab that award. And could Pat Surtain and Nick Bonito be the fourth sequence in NFL history where teammates win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year? I'm all in with it. So, all right. How would you summarize the Denver Broncos at the quarter pole here, progress report? How would you summarize their season thus far in a couple sentences?
I don't listen all that great, so I'm going to try to do this in a couple sentences. Inconsistent in closing out games, Zach, and very undisciplined. When it comes to the Denver Broncos, they've committed 31 penalties already. They're tied for 7th most in the NFL. Right? They're tied right there with seven other teams. So there's 6 other teams out there that are undisciplined, just like the Denver Broncos. That's what I would say is just they're very inconsistent. And if they would start to just finally just be more consistent when it comes to the penalties and finding out their identity, especially as an offense, then they're going to become a really, really good team and a scary team that you're not going to want to play if you're one of their opponents. So that's what I would go with the Denver Broncos right now in 4 games. Just inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. And when it comes to those crunch time moments and situations, you can't count on them.
Nope.
And that's just the facts. I mean, the Colts game, like the Colts game, if the defense holds up just long enough, you win that game. If you don't have a penalty, you win that game. The Chargers, again, on the defense. But, of course, we can say the offense because the offense had 6 3-and-outs against the Chargers.
2 for 13 on third.
But defensively, when you needed it the most, you weren't able to hold on. And Justin Herbert was able to be Houdini and then get out of and elude a tackle from Zach Allen and throw a touchdown to Keenan Allen. And honestly, Riley Moss had good coverage on him. It was just a good catch. And so now for the Denver Broncos, can you finish games? Can you be consistent? And can you be more disciplined throughout the games so you're not in situations where you have to lean on a kicker or lean on the defense to stop that last drive?
I like it. I think that's a pretty good summary of where we're at here a quarter of the way into the season. Disjointed, undisciplined, and have come up small in some really big moments. And I can't believe that we're talking about a 2-2 football team that still has not trailed for a single second in any fourth quarter. It's just insane. But that's how fickle this game can be. And the NFL, just more than anybody else, it's just so the margin for error is just so razor thin.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a team like the Denver Broncos, who are still forming, into a contender. What grade would you give this offense here? What grade would you give the Broncos offense for their progress report at the quarter pole here?
So you saw glimpses of like, okay, like this team can be explosive. You saw it a couple times in Tennessee. You saw it, like, of course, Monday night against Cincy. Even with the Chargers was a bad game. The Colts having four drives where he had 4 touchdown drives. All right, that was good to see. So it's there. But overall, Zach, as of right now, their progress report would be a C+. A C+
For the offense.
For the offense. The C+ because there's a lot to fix. Bo Nix did struggle for the first three games. Truly, the 3 games now, of course, against Tennessee, he had some good plays, but overall, just being consistent, a consistent quarterback, anchoring down, setting his feet, being accurate with the football, that hasn't been Bo Nix. Now, of course, with Cincy, he started to get his act together, and now hopefully he can sustain that. Also, when it comes to running the ball, like, we can be a lot more consistent running the ball now. We have running backs.
Yep.
We have J.K. Dobbins. R.J. Harvey looked a little bit better. Let's run the ball. This is the second highest paid offensive line in the league. All right, and they want to get downhill. So can we be more consistent in running the ball and not just having those chunk plays? And I know last year we were like, can we please get a 24-yard gain? Well, now we're getting those. But can we just get the chunk plays? I'm saying 5 yards, 6 yards, 10 yards. Well, we got to see that against the Bengals. We saw that a little bit against the Chargers. But let J.K. Dobbins get going. Give him 18, 20 carries now. I think he's building up for that. He's conditioned to do that, and he's already said that, hey, I need more carries, consecutive carries, to get in a rhythm. If you can do that, you're going to be more consistent as an offense. And, Zach, that's the identity of this team, whether Sean likes it or not. Run first, pass second. Now, of course, I know it's Sean. He's going to want to throw the ball. He threw the ball over 40 times against the Bengals.
Yeah, in a game where you're in complete control.
Yeah.
Still threw it over 40 times and threw it more than they ran it.
If you want to have success, if you want to sustain drives and stay on the football field, if you want to set up your play action, which Sean wants to do, then people have to respect the run. Teams have to respect the run long enough to build up for those explosive plays. The identity of this team is run first, pass second. Don't argue with me. Just agree.
Well, by the numbers, it's not even close. Do we realize how many members of Broncos country, or rather what percentage of Broncos country, if I went around the stadium in my little man on the street with the microphone and I say, hey, where do you think the Denver Broncos rank as a rushing offense in the NFL?
They'd probably say in the middle of the pack.
Somewhere, right?
Yeah, middle of the pack.
I think I might say that as well, okay? By the numbers, the Broncos have the 5th best rushing attack in the league right now, behind only the Bills, who are number 1, the Commanders at number 2, the Jets at number 3,
okay, the Jets,
and the Jags at number 4. And there's context there, though, because Josh Allen's yards are going to count for rushing yards. Justin Fields, his yardage is going to count towards rushing yards. But the Broncos there as the 5th best rushing attack in professional football at the quarter pole with 143 yards per game. Now, has it felt like they had the 5th best rushing attack, quarter by quarter so far this season? Not really. But they have
it's streaky.
It is streaky. That's a perfect way to say it.
Very streaky, where it's like, here's a chunk play. JK for 41 yards. Oh, JK for 19-yard touchdown. But it's just not consistent throughout the game like it was Monday night, where you just knew JK was going to get 5 yards a pop.
Yep.
Every time that man touched the ball, it was successful yardage. And that's what you're looking for on a daily basis. That's what you're looking for throughout a 60-minute football game. But it can happen. We have the team to do it. We have the line and the running back to do that with.
Yep. But Sean has not completely, and I don't believe will completely, lean into that identity. I will believe it when I see it. I, like you, have the Broncos, and I have all my grades written down. We have the exact same grade for the Broncos offense.
Why'd you have to shoehorn that one in? You thought I was going to say you're cheating?
Yeah, that
copying me.
That probably would have been said. just being clear that I had the Broncos as a C+ grade. Now, yards per game wise, they're currently 9th. But this is why you can't obsess over early season numbers, because they can get skewed so quickly. All right. So yards per game, they're a top 10 offense. They're 9th, averaging 355 yards a game. But when you have a game where you go for 512 and you only have 4 games of sample size, because if you took away this past week and looked at just the first 3 weeks, The Broncos had the 22nd ranked offense in the NFL when it came to yards per game. In terms of points per game, and points are the name of the game, right? It's not how much you move the ball between the 20s, but can you get in the end zone? The Broncos are averaging 24 points a game, which is exactly and perfectly average. 16 in a league of 32. So point per game, ranked 16th. Considering the context of all the conversations that we just had and sort of the disjointed passing offense and the streaky rushing offense, but that's obviously being done at a higher level than the pass as of right now, I'll give them a C+. All right? And also, I'm taking into account that 3 of their 4 opponents are statistically bottom 10 defenses.
Yeah.
So that was weighted as well. How about the Broncos' grade on defense at the progress report quarter poll?
Zach, I went back and forth on this one. Like, of course, we know the backbone of this team is the defense, and they have came up big. But there are times where I'm scratching my head saying, what are you guys doing? Like finishing games, maybe the start of a game, the start of drives at the beginning of the game have been awful for the Denver Broncos defense. That has to stiffen up. So I give them a B+. B+. It's 4 games. I'm expecting them to be an A-, A+ by the end of it if we're going to make some noise in the playoffs. Because right now they're second in points allowed. They have an elite pass rush group. Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, Zach Allen. But then they have depth. All right, they have Tillman. They have Jonah Ellis. They have it. Now, of course, they're lacking at the linebacker position. So hopefully when Dre Greenlaw gets back in the mix, that can help out with the linebackers if he ever shows up.
I was going to say, I've actually – this is actually unhealthy. I have not thought about Dre Greenlaw yet these last few days.
He's not available. Right? You can't make the club in the tub. That's what they used to tell you, right? Like you're not gonna think about him until he's on that football field.
Yeah, and the phrase "out of sight, out of mind" is meant for the Dre Greenlaw situation. That's why I hadn't thought about him in about a week.
No, for sure. But you still have Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year last year. Riley Moss who is still playing really good football.
He is.
Hufanga and Brandon Jones back there. So the defense is doing their thing. They're getting back. They're getting pressure. They're getting the sacks. But it's all about the late game failures. It's about, bowing up when it matters the most. When your offense is struggling at the end of games and you have to win it for the team, can you do that? Against the Colts, they were not able to do that. Against the Chargers, they were not able to do that. Now, against tougher opponents like the Eagles, can you do that? Can you show us that we can count on you? Because we're going to need you in the playoffs. We're going to need you to make that extra play, that interception, that sack fumble, whatever you have to do to give that offense another opportunity, to give Bo Nix that other opportunity. And then it comes down to when you talk about an undisciplined team, a lot of those penalties, 16 penalties, is on the defense this year. You have to clean that up. So in that situation, in that case, that's why I give them a B+.
Man, I was so going back and forth between a B+ and an A-, and I went with an A-.
Okay.
And I co-sign a lot of the stuff that you said there. But the reason that I ultimately gave them an A- is because when you are allowing in the year 2025 in a league that is set up for offensive success and you're allowing less than 17 points per game, that is pretty damn good. And I know you referenced it. It's the second best mark in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then you're leading the NFL once again in getting after the quarterback. 15 sacks in 4 games. Yards per game, they're still top 10. And I understand why it sounded like maybe some of the tiebreaker to go to B+ was the late game failures.
Late game failures.
There's no doubt that is a part of the story. But one of the things that ended up breaking the tie for me to give him an A- was in those games, I thought that at times it was an unreasonable ask for how much they were asked to step up for the offense. And so when you, again, I don't want to let them off the hook completely in those moments because football is going to be hard. Not everyone's going to be their best version every week. But so I ended up giving them an A-. The one part or portion of this defense where they're not doing a great job, and it's early, and these things can be circumstantial and come in bunches, they're not really turning over their opponent.
Yeah.
They're exactly in the middle of the pack when it comes to turnovers forced. So, the more we're talking about it, it might have been a B+ instead of an A-, but that's where I landed. In terms of Bo Nix, I gave Bo specifically, Phil, a C+ here. He is perfectly average in yards thrown, 16th in the NFL. What I really don't like is he's the 20th ranked quarterback in completion percentage right now. And he throws it to the line of scrimmage more than any other quarterback in the NFL right now. So that's a little bit hard through 4 games, and it's still so early. So I don't want to obsess over these numbers, and it's a progress report, not a report card. But being 20th in the NFL, when you're the league leader at passes within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage or even behind the line of scrimmage, that's got to get better. Touchdowns, he's tied for 4th. That's great. Interceptions, he's tied for 4th. That's not so great. QBR, the metric that takes everything into account, he is the 20th ranked quarterback in the NFL. I gave him a C+ for his progress report.
Oh, why you got to be so harsh on Bo? C+. No, I'm with you on this one. For Bo, he has to clean some things up. Turnovers, definitely. I love him being aggressive, and it's going to come for him. And I know that there's a lot put on his plate right now with Sean when it comes to this offense, different personnel groupings, getting to really understand and learn about his tight end, his receivers. So it's coming along. But for Bo, it's about making the right decisions, like being more fundamentally sound with your footwork. Right, the technique of your footwork. Those are the things that you can control. Control the controllables.
Sure.
So C+ is something, it's fitting for Bo Nix as of right now. It's 4 games. We know that he's going to get better. We know that this team is going to get better as long as they can stay healthy.
All right, we'll give a grade for Sean Payton here in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, if you want to react to that conversation, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. Something we thought was impossible in Denver sports is finally happening, and it's a big deal. That's coming up next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here for 5280 Exteriors. Big deals on windows and siding. Order in October, finance with them, and pay nothing until November 2027. Be warm for the holidays. Call 5280 Exteriors. Low monthly payments. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
When you're hurt in a car crash or on the job, Postman Law delivers. Don't just hope for help, demand results. Others promise. Postman delivers with ease, speed, and results. Call 844-POSTMAN today. That's 844-POSTMAN.
Planning out your holiday pictures? Let's move you to the front because at Soda Weight Loss, you could drop the belly fat and gain your confidence back, just like Ramon.
I used to dread those pictures. I'd position myself behind someone taller or make sure I was holding a plate so nobody focused on my belly. But that was before Soda. Soda gave me more than a smaller waistline. It gave me back the confidence to wear what I want. And they make it simple. No injections, no hunger, just a plan that works.
Soda weight loss is built for busy people like you.
I lost 82 pounds in just 16 weeks. No hunger, no drugs, just steady, real-life progress with the nutritionist who helps you every step of the way.
That's why Soda has nearly 9,000 Google reviews. And right now, the most popular offer of the season is back. Join today, and your partner joins free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Brandon Stokel here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Do you need a new furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump? ROX Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX rocks heating and air.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Thinking about buying a home in Colorado? You're not the only one, and now might be your best shot. We're officially in a buyer's market, which means you've got the upper hand. More homes are on the market, competition is down, and serious deals are out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade or downsize, now's the time to get pre-approved. And American Financing can make that happen in 24 hours or less. And here's the kicker. When you work with both American Financing and their partner American Home Agents, you can receive a credit on closing costs of up to 1% or a max of $10,000 on your home loan. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, it's time to step in, and American Financing is the place to start. Don't let the 20% down myth stop you. You could buy a home with as little as 3% down, and with down payment assistance programs available, getting into a home might be easier than you think. Pick up the phone, call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 1823334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's powered by Hellsberg. Shop and store are at hellsberg.com.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tonight on 104.3 HD2, playoff baseball action continues as Boston faces New York, followed by Cincinnati and LA on the Fan starting at 7.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, the Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, let's come off the top rope with it! 1! All righty. So, man, we got some news today that personally I did not see coming, all right? And that is that Bill Schmidt is out. General Manager Bill Schmidt is out from the Colorado Rockies. Out. Whether he got fired, resigned, there's been some verbiage that has gone back and forth. It doesn't matter. It leads to the same destination. Walker Momfort, who is now taking on a more prominent role, Dick Momfort's son, is talking about a fresh set of eyes going outside the organization and to find a new perspective for the future. This is a really big deal.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal, and honestly, it's common sense. Like, if the inside stuff is not working, then you need to look to the outside. Look for fresh eyes. Look for somebody else with a new mind, a new mindset that's like, hey, let's go in here, pick his brain, be more creative, and start getting the Rockies back on track. So I'm okay with this. It sucks anybody has to lose their job.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about performing. And everybody here that's a Rockies fan, we deserve more. We deserve the best. And so hopefully we can get that at some point.
So this comes on the heels of a couple months ago, it being announced that Greg Fiesel was also going to be phased out of the organization. So Greg Fiesel and Bill Schmidt have been with Dick Monfort for decades. As long as the Rockies have been around, like these guys have been in the fold, and now it feels like a turning of the page to a new era. And I would talk about this in the previous year leading up to a moment like this, where like Walker Monfort, he is Dick's son. I can't tell you how much differently I am than my own father. Like, not everyone is going to walk in the same footsteps, and we're already seeing a real fundamental change. The Rockies have only ever hired from within, promoted from within for the entire existence of their franchise. And it seems like, quite literally, for the first time, they are going outside the organization. And I am so thankful as a Rockies fan. This is what I've asked for years that they do, and it's finally happening. Any thoughts behind the glass? I know two big baseball fans back there.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you say, like, that they're going external, which I know they said that in the press release. It all sounds good, but none of it's really going to matter unless they change the organizational structure from within. Like, Dick Monfort can't still be pulling the strings. They need some sort of a president of baseball operations like they had with Kelly McGregor, which was, 20-plus years ago.
Sure.
Unless you get back to that model, it's probably not really going to matter who you hire. You could go out and hire some great young mind from the Rays, the Mariners, something like that to come into this organization and try and change things. But as long as Dick and maybe Walker, we'll see. I don't know about Walker. It's too soon to judge. But I'll kind of just take this mindset of the Rockies. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, I'll tell you this. That's fair that you have that mindset. With Walker specifically, I am going into this new era of Rockies baseball
with an open mind,
hoping that it is a new era of Rockies baseball, first and foremost, and giving him the benefit of the doubt that he is his own man.
That's fair.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that soon as this guy is stepping into the fold, we're seeing these sort of, like, this is seismic change comparatively to the history of the organization. So a part of it is just me being hopeful, to be honest with you.
And a lot of it's me being skeptical, because
right.
I've had 30 years of being skeptical of this organization.
Sure.
They've never really earned the benefit of the doubt with me.
Sure. No, Drew, that is fair. Dante, you got something?
Yeah, I just want to throw my hat in the ring for the position. Sounds like they had an opening down there. I'm external. I've never worked for the Rockies. I think I'd be a great candidate.
I love it. Put Dante on the list.
What's the first move, Dante? You don't even know.
See, no. Well, it's not that. You gotta take in what's already going in or what's going on down there. So you don't want to make any brash decisions. You
do the year of inventory.
Exactly. Yes.
You do the year of
not
inventory.
Not a full year, but you gotta get the lay of the land before you make any decisions like that.
Sure.
So it's too early to know.
Wow. Well, Bill Schmidt either was the head of scouting or served as general manager for 2.5 decades, and that is coming to an end, thankfully.
1, 2.
All right, man, this has been on our radar, all right? So this is not new, but there's another piece of information unrelated to this, our situation here in Colorado, that I think was worth mentioning, okay? What the heck am I talking about here? So yesterday, was it yesterday or Monday? I think it was yesterday that we found out Kirill Kaprizov from the Minnesota Wild is going to break the NHL record. He's going to make $17 million annually. Okay? This is shattering the NFL record. Or the NHL record. And it's an acknowledgement to the ballooning salary cap. And I think that in the piece of conversation that's not new, but there's, again, an unrelated chapter that I think got written yesterday with Kaprizov that could relate to Marty Necas. And I do believe after yesterday, the price tag for Marty Necas just went up a little bit. And I think that this bit of a pickle, the Avs need to make a decision here. Do they acknowledge the way that the cap is going and that Marty Necas' same percentage of the cap could give some people some sticker shock? that like him getting $12 million a year could be the same percentage of the cap that was $8.5 million 4 years ago.
Like the cap is going to speak. You're getting more money. Players are going to want more money, and obviously players are always going to feel like they are worth more than somebody else or a general manager or an organization feels like they are worth. But I will say this. You made the decision to go with Netches when you got rid of Mikko. So you knew when you acquired Netches that he was going to want some money.
Definitely.
And you were willing to give that type of money. Now, I don't know how much he's asking for. But you
Drew,
can't
what do we
keep
think
going
of
back and forth.
11-12? 11-12 for Netches?
My initial thought before this Kaprizov contract was probably in the 10-11 range.
Okay.
I think it's probably more maybe in the 12, possibly 13 range now.
So would you be comfortable giving him that money, though? I mean, like, who else would you give it to? That's another thing you have to think about. It's like, we have to win now. And it's not just about the now, it's also the future. And if Netches is a guy that you can count on in the future, then you're going to have to pay him a little bit of money.
I'm just nervous that the Avs are not going to want to meet what is probably his fair market value.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in a Mikko 2.0 situation here with Netches. Drew, how realistic do you think this is? I know you breathe this stuff. Do I have the right to be nervous and feel nervous the way that I do?
I think you do, given what we just saw play out with Mikko last year. The crazy part to me of this whole thing is that the Kaprizov, a winger, remember how much we talked about a winger not getting, the bigger share of the contract last year? Kaprizov is a winger. By the way, a winger who's not as good as Mikko Rantanen is and got $17 million. We could have been in this boat with Mikko, which makes me kind of believe like, hey, the Avalanche absolutely did the right thing by trading Mikko last year. But I do worry that this thing is going to get a little bit sticky with the Avalanche because they're not going to want to go above what Nathan MacKinnon is making.
I know, but here's what I'll say to that, Drew. I fear that is a more old school mentality and not an acknowledgement of the current cap. Because if you just do the percentages of the cap, then Netches could make as much as Mikko or Nate, maybe, or approaching it. I don't think he'll surpass it.
Because I think Nate's like 15% of the salary cap for the Avs.
Right.
So maybe if you can get Netches in around, hopefully maybe 13, 14% of that, that'd be ideal. I'd have to do the math to see exactly what that totals out to be. But I think if the Avs go anywhere above 12, that's gonna be dicey because you can't afford to play all these players because you're gonna have to pay Cale next year.
That's right.
And guess what? Cale's gonna get $17-18 million, rightfully so.
He is, and Nate's making around 12.5, right?
12.6, I think it is.
Yeah. So this, oh man, I don't like the way I feel here. I just don't because it feels like deja vu all over again. A different player, different price point, sure. But it's a similar feeling to how I felt last year. Next in a 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
Dante, you got a quick roundup for us here?
Yeah, for the MLB playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, started yesterday at the first round or the first day of the wild card. It was a great day of baseball. Marquee teams. We had Yankees, Red Sox. That was a fantastic game. 3-1 Red Sox. It's been a big throwback to like old school baseball. You're getting a lot of bunts. Like I saw more bunts yesterday than we probably saw during the entire regular season of baseball. Starting pitching went really deep into games. Garrett Crochet for the Red Sox was lights out. Tarek Skubal for the Tigers had an incredible day against the Guardians as well. We'll see a Game 3 between Guardians-Tigers tomorrow. So great start to the baseball season. Dodgers hit a bunch of home runs. Shohei hit a ball like 450 feet.
That
thing was an absolute bomb. So
freakazoid.
Really entertaining round of baseball so far.
I'm curious what the viewership is going to be when we start to gather because the games have been good. Premier teams, big markets, big time names. Does the public respond with their time?
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to baseball. I don't think this was on purpose, but they started on a Tuesday, which I think is perfect for them. Monday Night Football wraps up. Not a lot of sports going on. You can get the casual fan more involved.
Love this take. And I know I have friends that want to bet on games every single night of the week. And so when you have these standalone contests, it's like, you want to know what? I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but I'll throw $20, and watch Red Sox Yankees. So we'll see what the viewership looks like here when we gather these numbers. All right. It wasn't even a week ago that we were arguing like cats and dogs about one controversial figure in Colorado sports, and I think it's aged very well for one of us. That's next.
The Broncos bounced back in a major way and blew out the Bengals in prime time. With a short week ahead, will Sean Payton find a way to keep the momentum rolling on offense? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Wow, Leslie, your fireplace really sucks.
I beg your pardon?
Well, what I mean is your fireplace is literally sucking all the air out of your house and right up the chimney every time you burn it.
Well, what can I do about it?
Well, you could get a high-efficiency gas insert from Cozy Heat. It keeps all the air you already paid the utility company to heat, and it returns up to 80% of the fire's heat back into your house.
I'd use my fireplace every chance I get if I could do that. Maybe my furnace wouldn't need to run so much.
Well, that's the whole point. Hi, this is Keith Lair with Lair Fireplace and Patio, along with my niece Leslie, to tell you how a gas insert from Cozy Heat will give you the incentive to use your fireplace again. Cozy Heat gas fireplaces and inserts are made to crank out the heat with beauty and style.
Lair's is Denver's oldest, most trusted name in fireplaces. Family owned and operated since 1954.
We'll even give you a free in-home quote, including expert installation by our own certified in-house installers.
Find us on the web at lairfireplacepatio.com.
For top quality Cozy Heat fireplaces and inserts, it's Lair Fireplace and Patio, Denver's fireplace experts.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here for my friends at Rich Lawn. Fall is coming soon. That means two things: football and keep my lawn healthy and beautiful. How do I do that? An application of Colorado-made Rich Lawn Pro Rich Winterizer in September helps my lawn recover from the heat and stress of summer, keeps it greener longer into the fall, builds a strong root system, and provides green up earlier in the spring. So be like me and have the best stinking lawn in your neighborhood. Get Pro Rich Winterizer today at your favorite garden center. Tell them Mark sent you. Visit richlawn.com to find a dealer near you.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Looking to sell your used Rolex watch? We buy and sell pre-owned Rolex watches, all styles from old to new. Hi, I'm Scott Matthew with Matthews Fine Watches and Jewelry. Bring in your Rolex watch and we will buy it on the spot. Matthews, located in Highlands Ranch, serving Colorado since 1951.
Injured in an accident? Call Postman Law. Our attorneys have recovered over $3 billion for clients, fighting and winning nationwide. Others promise, Postman delivers. Call 844-POSTMAN now for your free consultation. That's 844-POSTMAN.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Whether it's kickoff, halftime, or the final drive, fuel your football season at Dickey's Barbecue Pits. Order the Two Can Dine for $29.99 deal. 2 meat plates stacked with pit smoke flavor. Or go for the new Triple Play Combo. A classic sandwich, savory side, and a big yellow cup for just $12.99. No matter who you're rooting for, great barbecue is always a win. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, legit. Texas barbecue.
Done right kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Our 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about make a great time to call 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3, The Fan.
Football is back, and it's time for you to get in the game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is here to help, and we're giving away a PlayStation 5 bundle. Download the Denver Sports app and tap the contest banner on the homepage for your chance to win a PS5 console, a 70-inch flat-screen TV, plus copies of Madden 26 and College Football 26. Don't wait. Download the Denver Sports app now. 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
In Philly.
Yeah. But didn't we already know about Baltimore first? Yeah. We knew about Baltimore first, and then last week we found out that the Super Bowl champion Eagles also wanted to draft Shedeur. And we were yelling at each other, and I thought it spoke to the lack of awareness from Shedeur and the nearsighted nature of the quickest path to play, not best situation, and being developed by great organizations. So we didn't see eye to eye. But I remember I said,
Here we go.
I said, you better hope Lamar Jackson doesn't get hurt or Jalen Hurts get hurt.
Yeah.
Where the backup is forced to play. And, you said, they're going to replace Flacco. And you were right about that. But then Lamar got also hurt. So you actually can't make it up. That less than a week after we were arguing about this, Lamar gets hurt. There's a good chance Cooper Rush, I believe. Is it Cooper Rush?
Because Lamar is dealing with the hamstring.
Hamstring.
You know how that is.
My guess is he's not going to play. And Cooper Rush is going to get an opportunity that I think would have gone to Shedeur Sanders. And then in the same 72-hour window, Flacco does get benched. But the Browns are keeping Shedeur at third string. Dylan Gabriel's going to get his opportunity this weekend. Wow. I mean...
because I know you want to be like I told you so. This is why he should have went to Baltimore or Philly. But the thing about that is like you're hoping someone gets hurt. Now, of course, it's football. Somebody is going to get hurt. Hopefully, it's not your quarterback. In this case, it is. But also, you want to have more than just 1 or 2 games. You want to have a chance to play 5 or 6, 7 games because the team decides, hey, the quarterback in front of you, it's not it. And that's why I still think it is okay for Shedeur to go to the Cleveland Browns. Now, it's a bad organization. We all know that.
Bad.
But if you want to play and you truly feel like you're a franchise quarterback somewhere, you will get your opportunity. And I still believe he will get that opportunity. Now, if Dylan Gabriel knocks it out of the ballpark, then it's going to be hard for Shedeur to get that opportunity. But, I mean, come on, Zach. What you thinking about when it comes to this now?
Well, one, look, I think that, I said to you last week, I said, even if he had to fill in for 2 games in Philly or Baltimore, I think that actually holds more value than playing 5 or 6 games for the Browns because the team to the left and right of you is just in a better position to win games. And the next time Cleveland develops a franchise quarterback will be the first time. Maybe anyone not named Bernie Kosar, if you wanted to say he was truly him back in the day. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to envision, like, what would be happening if Shedeur Sanders was starting for the Ravens this week? Like, this would be a huge topic of conversation. Now, he could be next up in Cleveland. It's so early in the season. Dylan Gabriel, he's going to have to play well. But, man, I think that I'm sort of where I was at a week ago with when you have historically great organizations like Baltimore and Philly say, please come here. We want to draft and develop you. And you say no to both of them and you go to Cleveland.
Well, you're saying no because you want that starting job.
Yeah.
You're saying no because it's like, hey, like I do want to be developed, but I don't want to be looked at as a backup quarterback. And if you go to the Eagles or Baltimore like we talked about last week, that's how they view you as.
But they
no
don't view
matter
him as a
what.
backup in Cleveland either. He's
Well, no,
third string.
for sure. They don't view him as a backup, but his chances of playing go up higher now that Joe Flacco is second. But that's only going to last so long. Joe Flacco was there just until one of these young players got up to speed in Dylan Gabriel. So hopefully they're hoping that Dylan Gabriel can do well. If it's not Dylan Gabriel, you can't go back to Flacco.
No, I don't think that they will.
The season's done with.
The ship has sailed with Joe.
No, he's 40 years old. Start developing these other young players like you have been with different positions.
Yeah.
If Dylan Gabriel can't get the job done, I believe that Shedeur will get his opportunity. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer, but he'll have more games with the Cleveland Browns this year than if he was with the Baltimore Ravens or Philly.
Yeah, and you may end up being right about that. I just still hold the weighted value of those games playing for Philly or Baltimore in higher regard than I do playing for the Browns. But we'll see, man. And then Shedeur, this is classic, today, and you guys will see it because I'm sure it's going to be all over SportsCenter. We've never talked about a third string quarterback in NFL history more than Shedeur Sanders, but he's in the locker room. It's an open locker room, and reporters go up to Shedeur and ask him, his thoughts on things. And Shedeur acted like he was talking, but he was what do they call it? Like miming it? Like, is that what that's called? Miming
like
it?
You had to read his lips.
Yes. So he's pretending like he's talking, but no sounds are coming out to the point where I thought my volume was messed up on my phone, and I was like, what's going on here? So he's acting like he's talking. This is Shedeur, but he's not. There's probably some message with that of hey, no matter what I say, you guys are going to take it and spin it. So something like that.
Yeah, maybe something like that, or hey, I don't know, I don't want anybody hearing me, or maybe he had a conversation with the organization and say, hey, look, they're going to ask you questions we don't want you to answer. Who knows? But you have Shedeur doing this again, which now people are going to take it and run with it and say, hey, he's immature. There's always going to be something with Shedeur Sanders.
Well, there is always something with Shedeur.
Always is.
There really is, man. All right, we'll see how this all ages. But another chapter of this story was definitely written here in the last couple days, including today. Okay, it's a bit of a reunion this week for the Denver Broncos. Talk about that next.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
Brendan Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire it back, then do what I did and go see Dr. Tanya Pauls at Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can personally attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Pauls, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver, and they've changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine.
Become inspired with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text STUDENT to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text STUDENT to 323232 right now. Text STUDENT to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's STUDENT to 323232. Text STUDENT to 323232 now.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states, as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Need a new water heater? Euro Plumbing has lifetime warranties, great financing, and low pricing. 720-500-3000. 720-500-3000.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
It's a bit of a reunion week for the Denver Broncos. Meeting an old friend.
The old friends.
Yeah, Vic Fangio. This is the first time that the Broncos have intersected with their former coach on a game day. And, man.
Oh, Vic.
What do you remember most about playing for Vic Fangio?
Well, one, when it comes to football, Vic was very detailed. And if he had an opportunity to keep you there until midnight, he was going to do that. Camp was gruesome because Vic has this old school way of, like, if it was up to him, you'd be in full pads, tackling to the ground, out there for 4 hours. And I'll remember, before I get into other stories about Vic, I remember when the 49ers came for a joint practice. And it was Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, I remember this.
I
was there.
And usually the coaches get together, they're in a meeting, get together, and they put together the game plan of, like, how long it's going to be out there. And Kyle, and they were on the field at this time, and Kyle told Vic, and he was loud enough for everybody to hear, say, hey, look, Vic, we're here for an hour, maybe an hour and 15. We're not out here for 3 hours. So whatever you want to do, let's get it done early because I'm getting my team on the bus and going home. And so Vic was like, okay, like, he was upset because he wanted this 3-hour practice. And I remember him wanting us to stay after the joint practice and continue to practice. It's like, come on, coach. Like, why are we doing this? Like, it's not helping us out. We just got our asses handed to us. Let's go home and cry about it for a second, come back and whoop their ass the next day. So when I think of Vic Fangio, he's not a player's coach. He's not joking around with you. Very awkward to be around, but he cares about his players. A great defensive coordinator, defensive-minded coach, he's going to dial that up. When it comes to offense, doesn't know a thing about it, stays away from it.
Yeah, I remember watching those practices. He would literally have his back to the offense for hours at a time.
Never came in a meeting, definitely didn't watch a practice. Like, he just didn't like offense. It was all about the defense. But I was sitting there one day with Vic Fangio, and we were eating, all of us as a table, and Vic's really into basketball, loves basketball. And I remember him saying, hey, Buff, do you have a opportunity to go up to a game ever? I said, yeah, I can go anytime I want. I'm the man up there.
Mm.
I'm thinking we're joking around. He's like, okay, one of these days I want to come with you. All right, cool. I didn't think he was serious. Well, the next day comes around. He comes up to me and says, hey, Phil, this date right here works for me. Are you okay with that, to take me to the game? Well, I can't say no now. Like, it's my chance to get to know Vic a little bit more. And maybe that's what he wanted to do, is just to get to know me. So yeah, Coach, let's go to a game. So we go to this game. I have to pick him up. So we're on a date. All right, I have to pick him up. He's already mad at me because I got lost. And when I finally found his house, he's waiting outside of his house, and he's telling me, hey, look, you're late. I want to see the arena. I want to see everything before the game. I'm like, Coach, relax. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're not going to get there late. Trust me. So we're driving down the Boulder, and you know, Zach, how it is. Like, it's a nightmare to get through. It's like one lane.
It bottlenecks, yeah.
And so this is a day where you got people getting off of work. People are trying to get up to the game to watch the basketball game. So there's just traffic galore. And you have Vic and I sitting there by each other, and it's just quiet. I can hear him breathing a little bit. He didn't like music. He didn't want me to put music on. He didn't like the rap music. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, damn, man. So I'm doing small talk. I'm trying to get things out of him. He's giving me short answers. And then we start talking about money. Vic loves money. And the reason for that is he used to teach us, and he used to have classes every Tuesday with us about how to take care of our money, how to invest in our money. And he would give examples of players that he has coached that have done well with their money and has invested in a lot of stuff, and they're successful after football. And then he has showed us clips of players that are not doing anything anymore, and they have made bad decisions, and they had agents that stole their money or investments that went wrong. And this is why you guys have to be smart with your money. And I appreciate him doing that and taking the time every Tuesday to go over money with us. That's why he never fined us. He never fined us. He would find us maybe $50 because he wanted us to keep our money. But we're talking about it. We're getting closer to the stadium. He's upset. We get into the building finally. And I'm like, Vic, here you go. You get floor seats. All right, you're right there. You get to watch the basketball game. We're here early. You get to walk around the arena a little bit. Relax. And we start to talk. And Elway, Mr. John Elway comes walking up. I don't know why. I don't know why he's at a Buffs game. But he comes walking up. Floor seats as well. Passes us, says, how you doing, and move on. And this is where, with Vic, like, I appreciate him for doing this. This is when I knew that he cares about his players. We're sitting there, and he whispers to me, he says, hey, Phil, the game hasn't started yet. The general manager's here. I know your contract's almost up. Like, this is the time to maybe, talk to him, not about your contract, but just talk to him. To show your face, because why do I have to show face? You know why, Zach. Elway wasn't in the building as much. So when he did that, it was like, wow. Like, you do care, Coach. Like, you do know what's going on, and you want the best for all of us. And I remember him saying, he liked me as a player, and he appreciated me as a player. He's not going to tell you that, a lot, but, just his actions, his words. And it was cool to be on that trip with Vic. It was a little awkward, but I'm glad I had that car ride with him, and I'm glad that I got to see that side of him because he does care about his players. Very interesting.
Really a unique story with Vic. And I made a mistake earlier in the segment. I said this is the first interaction that the Broncos have had with Vic Fangio since he was fired. That is incorrect. That's just a mistake on my part. Do you remember when they interacted on a game day? He was the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins for 1 year, and that was the year that the Broncos lost 70-20.
Oh, it was.
Yes, and the RamosLaw.com text line. Appreciate you guys. Not going to get back to everyone, but I think about 20 people just said, hey, he was the DC for, yep, you guys are spot on. He was that was a week 3 game, 70-20 loss. Vic was there for 1 year because the first year after that he was out of Denver, he consulted the Eagles, who I'm pretty sure went to the Super Bowl. He started to consult them, and then he was the DC for 1 season in Miami in 2023, and then he became the DC in Philly, and then they win a Super Bowl and all that. Vic, in terms of assistant coaches and coordinators, is one of the better ones that we've seen. Just was not cut out, like many others, just not cut out to be the head guy for some of the stuff that you were talking about right there. So it's gonna be interesting. The fact that because and I know you know this, but Sean Payton wanted Vic Fangio to be the defensive coordinator, and if he got his way, Vic would be back in Colorado. And it's just so crazy that he doesn't get Vic. It was just too fresh for Vic.
Yeah.
They had just fired him.
Yeah. I don't know who would do that.
They replace him with Hackett. He doesn't even make it through the year, and then you're reaching back out to Vic. And I know Sean wasn't here, but it's just
too much
and too soon. But then the irony of it is they circle back to Vance, who was the head coach right before Vic, and Vance takes the job that Vic wouldn't take here in Denver. So the web of it all is wild. And
both defensive coordinators, as of right now, are having a bunch of success. Of course, for Vic Fangio, just won a Super Bowl. His defense was dominant last year. His defense was pretty good with Miami. And, this year they're still doing well. So, Vic knows what he's doing as a defensive coordinator. And for VJ, Vance Joseph, he has a great opportunity to have a great year, have his defense be top 5 again, maybe number 1, and give himself an opportunity to be a head coach again, maybe next year.
Maybe so. Here's Vic Fangio yesterday talking about Broncos quarterback Bo Nix.
He's a scrambler. He's a competitor. He'll throw the ball in tight places. He runs their offense really well. I think Sean's done a great job bringing him along. And they got their quarterback for the future. They looked long and hard for many years, and I've got one.
When he said that last comment, you could see something in his face, like he was almost holding back a smile almost of they finally got one. Like, I would have liked to have a quarterback when I was there, so Vic was an interesting cat, man. Like the way that he used to talk about Drew Lock.
Yeah, he did not like Drew.
He did not like Drew.
No.
And the one just infamous moment that I celebrate annually, to be honest with you, when he said, it's Teddy Bridgewater's birthday today, so make sure you say happy birthday to Teddy. And he shared the birthday with Drew. And Kliss goes in the media scrum, it's Drew's as well. He goes, it is. I was just like, oh. And then when he said, in terms of Drew's arm strength, he's like, well, just because I go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of tools doesn't make me a carpenter.
Oh,
yeah.
Vic had an issue with Drew, and I don't know. Vic wanted established quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He wanted somebody that can come in, run the offense. He didn't have to worry about because he's a defensive coordinator, defensive-minded coach. That wasn't the case. You have to develop young quarterbacks, and the Denver Broncos, when they had Drew, they did not do that.
Yeah. He made a pitcher analogy, too. He's like, just because you can throw a fastball, you need more pitches. Man, he does not like Drew Lock. Okay. What are the Broncos' new playoff probability after bludgeoning the Bengals? And how about an updated win total? We'll pass along the advanced numbers coming up next.
The streak is over. J.K. Dobbins ran all over the Bengals and became the first 100-yard rusher for the Broncos in nearly 40 games. With Dobbins and Harvey both gaining steam, has Denver found a new recipe for success on offense? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Fall means football, and at Postman Law, we know winning matters. Our attorneys have won more than $3 billion for our clients, delivering the results they need when life gets tough. Car crash, workplace injury, serious accident. We know the insurance company's playbook, and we're here to help rewrite it for you with speed, ease, and results. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers. This is attorney advertising.
Is an IRS tax problem keeping you up at night? Well, join Todd from Advanced Tax Solutions for a free online workshop at 5:30 on Wednesday, October 8th. Todd will cover the 7 solutions to fix an IRS problem and get you on your way to having clarity and a plan with a licensed professional guiding your way. In this free workshop, he'll cover things like when will the taxes expire? It's actually possible this could just go away. You'll learn the IRS program to permanently settle your debt for less than you owe and several other important answers that will help you take control of your IRS problem. Todd will teach you what you need to know to get out of debt with the IRS for good and build a future you can be proud of. Don't pass up this free workshop with a licensed professional with 30 years of IRS resolution experience. So reserve your spot now by calling 303-753-6040. Again, 303-753-6040, Advanced Tax Solutions.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. And if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Brandon Stokel here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Do you need a new furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump? ROX Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Being dependable for your family. We get it. At Corwin Toyota, we've been family-driven for over 100 years. So when you need a ride that fits your whole crew, or even your carpool, rain or shine, we hope to show you how our family can take care of yours. Corwin Toyota, family-driven for over 100 years.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and autopay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Looking to sell your used Rolex watch? We buy and sell pre-owned Rolex watches. All styles, from old to new. Hi, I'm Scott Matthew with Matthews Fine Watches and Jewelry. Bring in your Rolex watch and we will buy it on the spot. No shipping your watch off to the internet site and waiting to get a check. Bring your used Rolex into Matthews. We have been servicing Colorado since 1951. Located in the Highlands Ranch Town Center. Matthews, we buy, sell, and service Rolex watches.
Matthews Fine Watches and Jewelry. Located in the Highlands Ranch Town Center or online at MatthewsFineWatches.com.
DenverSports.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Jacob's Law, 303 Law 4040.
Tune in to Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
All right, shifting gears here a little bit to some playoff probability conversations, some projected win total conversations. Have the numbers on that.
Win.
We'll talk about it. Guys, this Friday we're headed to Lohi for Bud Light Football Friday. We're going to be broadcasting live from Recess Beer Garden from 2 to 6 p.m. Bud Light will be giving away a pair of tickets to Broncos Giants on October 19th, along with 2 Bud Light VIP tailgate passes. You have to be 21 to enter that contest. You don't have to be 21 to be at Recess Beer Garden with us. Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the Denver Broncos. These have been really fun getting out on the road, and I expect the same on Friday. All right, shifting gears here a little bit. Shifting gears. What are the Broncos' new playoff odds after bludgeoning the Bengals? And how about an updated win total? What would you like first, Mr. Phillip Lindsay?
Let's go with the win total. You know, the playoffs, we're only four games into the season. The win total, in order to get to the postseason, you got to win enough games. Let's go with the wins.
All right. The Broncos, and this is according to ESPN's Football Power Index, where they gather every data point known to man within the game of football. Then they simulate the season thousands and thousands of times. The Broncos last week had a projected win total with their 1-2 record of 8.7 wins. That has jumped up to 9.1. Maybe not as big of a jump as you would have liked, but the current record projection is 9-8 for the Denver Broncos.
We're moving up. If we wanted to be satisfied, we would have needed to be 4-0, which we could have. The Denver Broncos could have been 4-0. But things didn't go right. You dropped a couple games against the Colts, against the Chargers. All right, last time we did this, you had it at 8. Now we're at 9. We have a winning season with 9 wins. Now, of course, it's not good enough. It's not good enough when you have Sean Payton going up to the podium saying this can be a Super Bowl team. So we know that. But it's about getting right back on track, getting on the same page. You're 2-2. Everything's out in front of you. You control your own destiny. You haven't played the Raiders yet. You haven't played the Chiefs. You still have to play the Chargers one more time for the division. So everything is okay. Now you gotta continue to grow. Bo Nix needs to continue to look like he did against what he did with Cincy. Now he needs to do it against Philly, something like that. And then you move on from there. Defense needs to be a little bit more stout. And if you can do that, we're going to be looking at 10, 11 wins. But 9 wins, okay, we're moving up.
Moving up, still very, very fluid. All right, this is not gospel. All right, this is a projection based on all these projections, okay, or all the simulations even. The playoff chances for the Denver Broncos. Last week at this time when we did this segment, the Broncos had a 49% likelihood to make the NFL playoffs as they sat there at 1-2 after Monday Night Football. Their playoff chances are currently 53%, so still right around a coin flip, but on the right side of the 50%.
How you feeling about that?
I think that's honestly right where it should be. It's right where it should be. I think that if it was like closer to 60%, I would say, I don't know,
When you watch these games, and this is for our listeners as well, when you're watching these games across the league in the Denver Broncos, do they look like a playoff team right now?
Man,
And there's not a lot of them out there that are going to look, we're talking about teams, like they're going to look like playoff teams.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Like the Steelers are sitting there at 3-1. Great record. But I'm watching the games, and sometimes I'm like, man, this doesn't look right.
No.
But they're figuring out ways to win. Really, sometimes you could say the same thing about the Eagles, actually, despite their 4-0 record. I know this isn't the answer that you're looking for, but I'd say like defensively, hell yeah, they look like a playoff team. Offensively, man, a lot of room to grow. And we're going to give grades here at the top of the hour as we're at the quarter pole, the traditional quarter pole of the NFL season. And it's like progress report time.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about each side of the ball in dedicated fashion, but the defense in general has looked like a playoff team for sure. The Broncos offense in general, not so much. Not so much.
I'm on this team as a whole, they do look like a playoff team. But I want to be more than just a playoff team. I want to be believable in the sense of like the Buffalo Bills. They have a chance to go to the Super Bowl every year because of Josh Allen. Like for Denver, it's not just about getting to the playoffs now. We've been there last year. We won 10 games. Now it's about winning a playoff game, being more believable. When I look at these games, there's times where I'm like, okay, it's there. Against the Colts, they had 4 touchdown drives. They looked really, really good. But then you have a game against the Chargers where you have 6 3-and-outs and you don't look good. But yet you're in games. And for Bo, it's like it's just a couple plays here or there. You got to make a play against the Chargers. Don't overthrow the ball. You win that game. Or you don't turn the ball over against the Colts in the red zone. You win that game.
But this is what NFL football is.
And you're right. You are right. It's there. It's right there. And Bo and them are right there. They're 2-2. Sean Payton has been putting this team, this offense, in better situations. Of course, we know this defense is really, really good. So when I look at it, it's like, yes, this is a playoff team right now. Now you got to stay healthy. You got to continue to grow. And for someone like Sean Payton, all right, when you have Sean Payton and we're in October, he's been a beast. He's been a beast in October and November. He's won 70% of his games in his history whenever he played in his career, he does really well in those months.
In September, he's perfectly average.
In average. So what it's telling me is his team grows as the year goes on. His team, the quarterback, gets better as the year goes on. You have a young quarterback that you probably put a lot on his plate, and now he's starting to adjust. He's starting to understand what Sean wants done. So I'm confident in that, and that's why I'm sitting here today saying this is a playoff team, but you got to go out there and show it.
You got to do it. And eventually, because it's so early here, so I don't want to get carried away, but it's worth mentioning at least. So far, through 4 games, it's a very similar setup to who the Broncos were a year ago. You beat a bad Titans team who is still looking for their first win at 0-4, and a Bengals team that I think is actually worse than Tennessee. So their record doesn't show it, but we know there's context to that record. And you've lost to a pretty good Chargers team and a pretty good Colts team. So it's like that word believable. Like I'm still searching for the believability factor. You can go a long way in that regard if you go and give the Philadelphia Eagles hell on Sunday. And I think that they will. And we'll talk about that here as we continue the show and throughout the week. Just to round out this segment, because we've been doing this every week for years now. So the projected win total, according to ESPN's Football Power Index, is 9 wins, 8 losses. The playoff chances are at 53%, up from 49%. Chance to win the division. Last week at this time, it was 8%. It's almost doubled to 15%. To make the divisional round, so to win a wild card game and play on divisional weekend, 27% likelihood. Chance to make the AFC Championship game, around 12.5%. Chance to go all the way to the Super Bowl, right around 6%. Chance to win the Super Bowl, right around 3%. So these numbers, again, are fluid. They are a projection and a forecast, so take them for what they're worth to you. That's for each fan to decide, but we'll be continuing to do this right around midweek here throughout the Broncos season. Could the Denver Broncos have a Defensive Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons? I believe the answer is yes, and hopefully you'll hear me out coming up next.
Changes are coming at 20th and Blake. The Rockies announced that Bill Schmidt is stepping down as general manager, and the team will begin an immediate search for a replacement. Will an external candidate give Colorado a much-needed fresh perspective? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
The
cost of everything is still out of control, and many of us are relying on credit cards to cover essentials. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. Americans collectively owe over $1 trillion in credit card debt. You might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well, there's good news. They've created a smart equity loan, a solution designed to help you take control of your finances without touching your current mortgage. Unlike a HELOC, which can have varied interest rates, the smart equity loan offers a fixed rate. That means one predictable monthly payment, giving you peace of mind. This loan allows you to leverage the equity in your home to pay off high interest debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your existing low mortgage rate intact. It only takes 10 minutes to get started with no upfront or hidden fees. Call American Financing today and start saving now at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Are joint pain or injuries keeping you from living your best life? I'm Dr. Joel Cherdak with Denver Regenerative Medicine. We don't believe in one size fits all. Instead, we create personalized stem cell treatment plans using your own stem cells or donor cells to help regenerate joints, repair torn muscles and ligaments, and restore mobility. For a limited time, get 10% off through October. Don't wait. Book your free consultation now at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
A friend asked me the other day why I loved being in the diamond and jewelry business so much. I'm Shayna Williams.
And I'm Dylan Williams from Williams Jewelers. It's not just about shiny rocks, precious metals, and meticulous craftsmanship from the world's very best.
It's really about you.
It's your life and loves. It's about your moments and the ones that define you.
It's the birthdays, the anniversaries, the birth of a child. It's when you're on one knee asking the love of your life to spend forever together with you.
For 3 generations now here in Denver, you've trusted Williams Jewelers with the most important moments in your life.
That's what's precious to us.
And why we love what we do here at Williams Jewelers every day.
You see, our why is you.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche. In Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue, and right now online at williamsdiamonds.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Marketing can feel overwhelming. Where to start? What works? What doesn't? That's where your marketing experts at Denver Sports come in. Audio, video, online marketing, and we know how to cut through the noise so your customers finally hear your story. You don't have to waste time guessing or spinning your wheels. We'll guide you with a proven plan that turns your marketing into growth. Let us handle the hard part. You do the easy part. Head over to DenverSports.com and click Advertise with Us and start growing your business today.
Stokely here from my friends at 5280 Waste Solutions of Denver. Unhappy with your home or business trash and recycling service? Need a temporary dumpster for a project? Call 5280 Waste Solutions at 303-529-2329. Colorado isn't just where they work, it's home. They guarantee swift, on-time pickup for residential and commercial customers. Make the switch and get reliable local service you can count on. Go to 5280waste.com. 5280 Waste Solutions, your hometown brand.
Fall is here. The leaves are piling up. The air is getting crisp. Football's back on TV and chili's been simmering in the crock pot for hours. At Postman Law, the season may change, but one thing stays the same. We fight for hardworking folks when they've been injured. We've recovered billions for our clients, and it costs nothing to find out if you have a case. You don't pay a dime unless we win for you. If you've been hurt in an accident, call Postman Law at 844-POSTMAN today. That's 844-POSTMAN. This is attorney advertising.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Could the Denver Broncos have a Defensive Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons? I believe the answer is yes. And Phil, if you could just hear me out and lay out the argument why I believe that Nick Bonito is going to go win Defensive Player of the Year.
Zach, I'm looking at you, and I'm going to sit here and hear you out, man.
Okay. All right.
Guilty.
Here's my my plea.
All right.
Okay. Nick Bonito has 4.5 sacks in 4 games. He's off to a blistering start. No one is pressuring the quarterback at a higher rate this year than Nick Bonito. In fact, his 31% pressure rate is the highest of any player through the first 4 games of an NFL season since Next Gen Stats started tracking pressure data back in 2018. His Defensive Player of the Year odds actually reflect my bullish nature on Bonito. Here's what I mean. On August 1st, Nick Bonito was 60-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year. On September 1st, Bonito was 40-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year. On October 1st, that's today, he is down to 15-1. The only players that have better odds or shorter odds, a greater likelihood to win Defensive Player of the Year are Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons, and Myles Garrett. That's it. He's second in the NFL in sacks by a half sack from being number 1. The only 2 players that are a half sack ahead of Bonito are Brian Burns in New York for the Giants and Byron Young on the other coast for the Rams. And if you think of the past winners of this award, they're not the Pat Surtain. He's the anomaly. 3 cornerbacks in 30 years have won that award. The winners usually get after the quarterback. The Myles Garretts, the Nick Bosas, the TJ Watts, Khalil Max, JJ Watts, Terrell Suggs. Those guys more oftentimes are the ones to win this award. And I know someone out there saying, dude, the Broncos just had a Defensive Player of the Year. They're not going to vote a Bronco in back-to-back years. I would say like Lee Corso, not so fast. Ray Lewis won Defensive Player of the Year in 2003. Who won it the next year? His teammate, Ed Reed, in 2004. Back in the mid-90s, the Buffalo Bills had a player by the name of Bryce Pupp win NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Who won it the next year? Bryce Pupp's teammate, Bruce Smith. Back in the 70s, 1974, Joe Green won the award. His teammate, Mel Blount, won the award the next year. Guess what? The year after that, their other teammate, Jack Lambert, won it. They had a Defensive Player of the Year be a different person for 3 years in a row. So for 3 different instances of precedent in NFL history, 2 teammates have won the award in consecutive years. So from the pressure rate that I'm seeing, the sack totals that he's accumulating, the odds reflecting this conversation, him being second in the NFL in sacks, past winners syncing up with who he is getting after the quarterback, for all those reasons, I believe Nick Bonito, 1, will be squarely involved in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year as the weather gets colder. But for 2, I actually think he's going to win it.
Woo-wee. I love it. I love that breakdown. Now, my question to you, is it just the sacks? Is that good enough if Nick Bonito leads the league in sacks to win Defensive Player of the Year? Or is he gonna have to do more?
Yeah, he's going to have to do more. There's a couple things that are going to have to happen. It's a really good question, too, because Trey Hendrickson can lead the league in sacks and not win the award. Shaq Barrett can lead the league in sacks and not win the award. You have to be amongst the league leaders and be on a winning team and a legit playoff team. And you're going to have moments in primetime the way that he just did on Monday Night Football and he did a year ago in primetime. And then the last thing I think and this is the most under-talked about when it comes to major awards, and I do believe it impacted Trey Hendrickson, and I do believe it impacted Shaq Barrett, is that you are not firmly in the center court of the NFL consciousness. You have to have like this awareness period where the entire NFL community knows who you are. It doesn't apply to everyone. It wouldn't apply to Myles Garrett. He was the top pick. Von Miller, second pick.
All eyes are on them from the start.
That's right. But for someone like Benito, you have to have an awareness year like you had last year, where you're making plays and Scott Van Pelt has you on SportsCenter and Pat McAfee's having you on and people are starting to know who you are. Now that's in the past, he's got the ability to reach out and snatch this award.
Everything in life and in football, basketball, hockey is about consistency. And Nick Benito has been consistent so far from last year till now. 4.5 sacks already in the season just started. Of course, Zach, it's all about the moments. There's 4 more primetime games. You said there's 5 altogether because you're counting the London game.
Correct.
We already played Cincy on Monday night. You got 4 more primetime games. Of course, Nick Benito needs to get the sacks, but also make some game-changing plays in the sense of an interception or a forced fumble that you pick up and you take back to the house for 6. You need more moments like you did last year and lead the league in sacks. And that's when you become Defensive Player of the Year. And that can happen for Nick Benito because guess what, guys? Are you going to double up Nick Benito and let Jonathan Cooper go free or let Zach Allen go free or John Franklin Myers? No. There's so many weapons on that defense that you're going to have to play straight up. And now Nick Benito has an opportunity on one-on-one with the tackle that he's faster than.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much all that. And what a situation, a unique situation that Benito is in where, and I know you just touched on it, but you can't overcompensate for anyone in this defense.
Yeah.
You just can't. They're sticky on the back end. Like, you could have a Defensive Player of the Year literally helping Nick Benito win Defensive Player of the Year. You know, it's one hand washing the other. So now what some folks may point to is that he's not an elite run stopper, and his snap count might not be the same as someone like a Myles Garrett or a Brian Burns or something like that. I think if your sack totals are there and you're doing it for a bona fide playoff team and you have those moments in prime time, I think this story could be writing itself. And the eye test, it's insane. I mean, it is insane. I'm watching the podcast. Was it Taylor Lewan and I forget the other guy from A Bussin' with the Boys, Will Compton.
Yeah.
And they're on the Kay Adams show. And one of the questions this morning is, talk to me about Nick Benito. Like, how real is this? Is he in the top tier of edge rushers? And they're like, man, this kid's tape is insane. So the word is like.
And you know who else is going to help him out is what Sean was doing during the offseason. Everybody was showing up to practice because of Sean Payton and what he had said about his team. So now across the world, across the country, you're talking about the Denver Broncos. So now when someone like Nick Benito has a phenomenal year, which he will have as long as he stays healthy, it's like, okay, yeah, it's the Denver Broncos. They're supposed to be doing this. You know, Sean said they have a good chance to go to the Super Bowl. Things like that help you out when you have the media that's always talking about you.
Well, good conversation. I think it's relevant. Whether he wins it or not is almost secondary. Now I'm hoping he wins it because I have $25 on him at 60-1 from August. But whether he wins the award or not is secondary. If he's in the conversation when the weather gets freezing out, that I think will be the point. So we'll see if he can do that. Okay. Where is Deion Sanders' head at after a disappointing start to the season? You'll hear from him coming up next.
The streak is over. J.K. Dobbins ran all over the Bengals and became the first 100-yard rusher for the Broncos in nearly 40 games. With Dobbins and Harvey both gaining steam, has Denver found a new recipe for success on offense? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
All right, Broncos country, we're in the thick of things now. We know that summer is already over, and that means it's all about game days here on out. Whether you're heading to Empower Field or traveling to Boulder to cheer on Coach Prime and the Buffs, you know you need to get there on time and in style. And speaking on going to the Denver Bronco games, you could get 30% off of your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for the entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30 Again, all you have to do is mention that code PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And let my friends at Hermes Worldwide handle the traffic and parking hassles. They'll get you to and from the game safely so you can focus on the important stuff, like making as many memories as possible with your friends or your family. All I need you to do is call Hermes Worldwide today at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Again, give them a call at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like. And of course, my marriage, yes. No man in their 40s wants to have low libido in their marriage. I'm really thankful for this therapy because it just makes me feel the man I want to be, active, at home, everywhere. If you're feeling like I was, call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today and get checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thanks, Greg. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Planning out your holiday pictures? Let's move you to the front because it's Soda Weight Loss. You could drop the belly fat and gain your confidence back, just like Ramon.
I used to dread those pictures. I'd position myself behind someone taller or make sure I was holding a plate so nobody focused on my belly. But that was before soda. Soda gave me more than a smaller waistline. It gave me back the confidence to wear what I want. And they make it simple. No injections, no hunger, just a plan that works.
Soda Weight Loss is built for busy people like you.
I lost 82 pounds in just 16 weeks. No hunger, no drugs, just steady, real-life progress with the nutritionist who helps you every step of the way.
That's why Soda has nearly 9,000 Google reviews. And right now, the most popular offer of the season is back. Join today, and your partner joins free. Visit SodaWeightLoss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. If you've been seriously injured in a truck or car wreck, you want Wilhite. Get your free case review now. We've been voted best personal injury law firm for the last 3 years in a row. Visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Hey guys, your boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. You want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Need a new water heater? Euro Plumbing has lifetime warranties, great financing, and low pricing. 720-500-3000. 720-500-3000.
Football is back, and it's time for you to get in the game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is here to help, and we're giving away a PlayStation 5 bundle. Download the Denver Sports app and tap the contest banner on the homepage for your chance to win a PS5 console, a 70-inch flat-screen TV, plus copies of Madden 26 and College Football 26. Don't wait. Download the Denver Sports app now. 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Where is Deion Sanders' head at after a disappointing start to the season? And here in about 12 minutes, we're going to jump back into Broncos because we're at the quarter pole of the season. And this is the traditional sort of progress report time. And what does that progress report look like for the Broncos? What grade would you give the offense, the defense, Bo Nix and Sean Payton? All right, so we'll get to that here. Like I said, in about 11 and a half minutes. We are not going to commercial break. We are going to stay live with you for around the next 35 to 40 minutes. Deion Sanders. Is it fair to say, hey, this is a disappointing start to the college season for the Buffs?
Oh yeah, I mean, like any college fan and myself, Buff alum, I want us to win all our games. I want us to be 4-0 right now. It's 4-0 right now, and there was opportunities out there to be 4-0 or at least be in 3-1. So, yeah, it's a disappointment right now. Now, of course, there's a lot of game left. There's a lot of time to catch back up. Hopefully, Big 12 play now.
It's getting late early,
tough.
and it's already 0-2 inside the Big 12.
Yeah, so, it's been a disappointment so far this year.
Yeah. 2-3. 2-3 record. Losses to Georgia Tech, Houston, and BYU. Wins over Delaware and Wyoming. All right, and Deion yesterday – there was a question that was sort of like framing it like could the lack of NIL and could the lack of financial resources be a part of the story here why the Buffs have lost 3 of their first 5 games? This is what Deion said.
We can't blame it on the money. I mean, no, I'm not. I'm not saying you are, but it sounds that way. Like people would interpret that's what you're saying. We can't blame it on that. We've played good football except for one darn game. You know, Houston was horrible. Okay, we didn't play well. The other 2 games, we had an opportunity to win those games. I mean, to win those games against ranked opponents. Sure. We just didn't get it done. We had opportunities. 10 points, 2 ranked opponents. That game was decided, both those games. So we can't cry. We don't have the money. It's not that. It's just at the conclusion of the season, when you look back on things, when you look over your shoulder, you're going to see what we said. And that media day, some of the top teams are going to be there. And this is the commonality that they share. But it's some great coaches out there coaching way above that, you know, and prayerfully that don't catch up with them. But I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm not going to cry broke just because we dropped that money. It had nothing to do with those 2 games that we dropped.
So, you remember how I choose my issues with Deion, right?
Yeah, a la carte.
A la carte, issue by issue.
So what's the issue?
I do not worship everything that he does. I don't hate everything that he does. It is issue by issue, and I absolutely love that response from Deion Sanders.
All right. I love it, too. It was a well thought out response. And Coach Prime is right. This team that Coach Prime put together is a very athletic team. They have some ball players. They're not putting it together as a team, though. They're not as well coached as they should be at this point, in more discipline like they should be right now. But they still have time. When you're looking at this team, it's not about, hey, we don't have the athletes. It's about finishing games. It's about being disciplined. It's about not shooting yourself in the foot with the penalties.
Yep.
It's about in crunch time moments, just like the Denver Broncos, making that play. One more play than your opponent.
Yep.
And there was times in that BYU game, for example, Caden Salter dashes down the left sideline. They get a holding call. That changes the game. Caden Salter throwing the pick at the end of the game.
That's huge, yeah.
That's huge.
Yep.
Georgia Tech. Defense gives up an explosive play to the quarterback. The quarterback there for a 45-yard touchdown.
Haynes King.
That right there, like you stop him, you have a good chance of winning that game.
Definitely.
So yeah, and so Prime is right. It's not about the money. It's about the players and the coaches and doing the right things for a 60-minute football game.
Yeah, and if the game was a first quarter football game, Buffs are in good shape. Buffs had a 14-0 lead last week, and that's why, I was critical again of this coaching staff, because when you even say into a microphone, and it backs up what you're saying about the level of athlete that they currently have, when you say, hey, we have more talent and they beat us, man, it's a bit of an indictment on your execution, on your discipline, and your coaching.
Yeah.
And when you think you have the better team and you're at home with a 14-0 lead and you lose, man, that is a massively missed opportunity. But Dion is right, though, when he points to the Georgia Tech loss and the BYU loss, and you lost to two teams. Now, Georgia Tech wasn't ranked at the time, but they're firmly a ranked team. They're really tough. And you lose both of those games by a combined 10 points, losing 27-20 to Tech and 24-21 to BYU. Man, that just stings. It stings. And this weekend down at TCU, and Sonny Dykes is going to have those dudes geared up. And Josh Hoover, their quarterback, he might be the best quarterback in the country right now. And that is not an exaggeration, because the guys that I thought were ready to take this massive leap forward.
Oh, you were ready to fight us about Penn State quarterback.
Drew Aller?
Drew Aller.
He's not very good right now. Cade Klubnik, I thought he could be the number one pick in the draft. He hasn't been very good. Even Nussmeier has been just okay. So, yeah, but this kid, Josh Hoover, for the Horned Frogs, I mean, he is freaking legit. Now, the one thing I'll say about his dynamic, he does not run the ball. He is a passer of the football, and that has been a real Achilles heel for the Buffs against Georgia Tech, against Houston, against BYU. These dual-threat quarterbacks have gashed the Buffs. That's not who Josh Hoover is. So maybe, and I don't know.
Well, see, the issue with it is with someone like Josh Hoover is he can throw the ball well. Well, the cornerbacks for Colorado, they're not doing a good job in man. And the reason why Colorado's having to play so much more man, Zach, is because they have to try to stop the run. So they're trying to add a guy in the box. Well, the Horned Frogs, TCU, is going to run the ball. And you know that that these cornerbacks are going to have to be sticky on the outside. But if they cannot do that, they're not going to have success. And then on top of that, you have to be able to stop the chunk plays, the explosive plays. That's something that the Colorado defense has not been able to do. So there's going to be a lot of work for the Colorado Buffs leading up to this game, and time is running out. It's already Wednesday.
Yeah, it's true. And TCU suffers their first loss of the season this past weekend at Arizona State. That game was on Friday night, and TCU, and Dante's a big Arizona State guy, attended Arizona State, was present on campus at Arizona State. And can't say alum, but he was there. He was there.
Oh, no, you can't say alum. Can't say graduate.
Okay. Right. Alum, not grad. But TCU is really, from what I remember on Friday night, was in control for huge chunks of that football game, and Arizona State had to come back, didn't they?
Yeah, they were up 17-0. ASU just wasn't converting a lot of third downs early, and TCU was. But yeah, Hoover was throwing the ball, and he throws a pretty ball.
He does.
I have him and Dante Moore as the best throwers of the football in the country right now. And he took a hit or two too. He's a tough guy, but yeah, he throws a pretty ball, and he'll get you in those in between routes too, like layering the football over those linebackers in front of those safeties.
Yep. All right. Here is a little bit more from Deion Sanders yesterday when he is talking about the Buffs offense, and there is a unique response here, and even maybe some unique
sound effects.
Noises. This is Deion Sanders when talking yesterday about the offense.
Let's just say the offense. Let's not single anyone out right now. Not lost for words, just trying to frame it. I want them to play like their life is on the line. like their careers are on the line. Like the payment for a car is on the line. The payment for a home is on the line. Like they have children depending on them, and some do. I just want them to play with full intensity and passion. And when you walk off that field, you look back and say, I gave them all. That's all any coach wants.
Really long, dramatic pause.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what's going on? My man using the bathroom? What's going on?
Yeah, he was in deep thought for sure. I think that he was careful with his words, so he didn't say something he regrets. But who do you think that he was thinking about as he was gathering those thoughts?
I don't think he's thinking about the whole team, the whole offense, I should say. I think he's thinking about two people. Pat Shurmur, who's the offensive coordinator. He started off the game against BYU. He had a couple really good play designs and looked really good. And then all of a sudden you look up and he goes cold turkey. He's non-existent. It's bland play calling. And it's like, where are you at? We need you. We need you here at the end of the game, and yet you're not calling a really good game throughout this game.
Yeah, and he wasn't reacting to the things that were working.
Yeah. Or how about a particular player and get one of your players going like Miller?
Yeah, Mario Miller, yeah.
And get him going.
Yeah.
You know, so it's things like that. But then also I think that Coach Prime is thinking of a particular player, and that's the quarterback.
Yeah, I think so too.
Payton Salter.
I think so too.
Who had opportunities to go out there and win the game for him, end up with an interception against BYU, had opportunities against Georgia Tech to win that game, but was inconsistent with the football. And he doesn't want to put nobody on blast because you still have a lot of games left in this season, and you're going to have to rely on Pat Shurmur, and you're going to have to rely on Payton Salter because Juju is not ready to play. But those are the two guys I believe he's thinking of. They're not doing their part. It's not good enough. It's just not right now. If you want to win in the Big 12, you have to make big time plays as a quarterback. You have to be able to pass as a quarterback downfield.
Yeah.
And as a play caller, you're going to have to scheme up plays that are going to get your players open. BYU was successful with that in the red zone multiple times, being creative. At times, I didn't know who had the ball. Why can't we do that with the type of playmakers that Colorado has?
Well, frustrating start for the Buffs. There is no doubt about it. Some missed opportunities, a lot like the Broncos, you know. And I don't want to get carried away here. But like, if one or two things, and again, this is football, okay? So I don't want to fall into this trap. But one or two things that are different in the Georgia Tech game, one or two things that are different in the BYU game. The Buffs, I mean, we could be talking about them. Hey, if they win this weekend, they could be nationally ranked.
Yeah.
And instead, they're trying to stay above water and looking for their first Big 12 win. They laid an egg, and Deion's right about this. They laid a true egg one time, and that was at Houston against Willie Fritz's Cougars. What are we in store for in TCU? On Saturday evening, it's going to be on Fox, national TV, 5:30 kickoff. A really, really important game. The Horned Frogs are currently, I think it's 13.5. I think they're a 13.5 point favorite right now. So, okay, we'll see what it looks like, and we'll continue to preview that game here throughout the rest of the week. This is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive. And we are hanging out with you on the first day of the month of October. And that is, we are getting deeper and deeper into the football season.
Spooky season.
It is spooky season.
Let's go. Let's bow.
And we're starting to get to a point in the season where, like, we have enough, like, well, I shouldn't say enough, but you're starting to get to the point where you have enough where, like, just data points and 4 separate football games, and you start to see the team forming and some of the improvements and some of the things that are lacking. And I know it's a 17-game schedule and not a 16-game schedule anymore, but not too long ago, we would look at, like, that 4th game as, like, okay, you're 1/4 of the way through the season. This is typically, if this were school, this is when you would get a progress report. You get that report card at the midway through the year, another progress report midway through the second half of the year, and then your final report card.
Report card comes in, you start putting pillows in your butt because you know it's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a rough one for you.
Yes, a lot of times, for sure. But I thought here on a Wednesday is a good opportunity after 4 games to just look at the Broncos from a 20,000-foot view and say, okay, what type of progress report grades would we give the Broncos? But before we do that, how would you summarize the Broncos' first 4 games of the year?
The first 4 games of the year for the Broncos, it was very inconsistent. They were inconsistent in closing out games and very undisciplined. The Broncos committed 31 penalties, tied for 7th most in the NFL.
And by the way, that's just the accepted penalties.
There you go.
They've had 40 flags thrown on them. They're averaging 10 flags per game thrown on them. Thrown on them, yeah.
So a very undisciplined football team as of right now, which is like, wow, you're talking about Sean Payton, a teacher. If you were at camp, you're watching Sean Payton stop practice literally for 5 or 6 minutes to explain what he wants done. You're watching Sean Payton, who would go through practice when there was penalties and make them redo the play, and yet you're still having penalties every single game. You're going to have some, but 10, averaging 10?
That's so unhealthy.
And then just the inconsistency of both offensively and defensively, the units. And you can put special teams in there as well.
Sure.
And this is why the Denver Broncos dropped 2 of those games against the Chargers and the Colts. When you need them the most, they're not showing up. When you need your defense the most, they're giving up yards, not showing up. When you need your offense, they don't show up. Now, yes, it's early, and they did look good against the Bengals. But we got to get right back on track. We got to start finding some type of rhythm, and hopefully this stays true. And you talked about this earlier, Zach, with Sean Payton. I want to say yesterday or the day before that, in October, Sean is 47-16. 70% of the games for Sean historically come in October and November. He wins 70% of those games. So like right now we're here. October and November, it's here. So hopefully that stays true so that we can start winning these games, which I believe we are going to continue to do because of how the schedule looks, and that this team is going to start to pick up the pieces and start to understand that, hey, this is how the offense is. Bo Nix is going to start understanding the offense a lot more. I believe that Sean put a lot more on his plate in his second year, and now he's starting to get it, and it's gonna help him out against Philly and moving on from there.
Here is Sean Payton yesterday when he was asked on his conference call, what has he learned about the team after the first quarter of the season?
Look, I think that race that we always talk about of improving and finding the identity of what we're going to be, it still continues. There were a number of things on tape. Obviously, today's schedule is a little different because of the short week. You know, we'd be foolish if we didn't find a way to get the corrections taken care of from last night's game, and there are plenty of them. It's a quick turnaround. The focus strictly has to be on Philly. It can't be on the following week, going to London, or any of those things. Short week. We got to get the recovery going. Players got to get rested. The study's going to be important. The plan's going to be important. You know, implementing it against a real good football team, obviously, on the road.
He said we would be foolish to not look at the corrections because you look at the final scores, 28-3, but there was some, pockets during that game, particularly on offense, that were really frustrating. And by the way, you could start with the first offensive series of the game. Remember, they had to use a timeout.
Oh, yeah.
And this has been happening every single week where they literally cannot get plays off. And so between the undisciplined nature of the team, all right, averaging 10 flags thrown on them per game, it's so unhealthy. They are now up to, what is it here? It's actually still the same, 73 yards a game in penalties on average, 290 yards in penalties. That's the 6th most.
You can't expect to beat the bigger teams like Philly that we're getting ready to play.
No.
Like, yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs, they still are there. You know, you're going to play Green Bay. You can't expect to beat playoff teams if you're going to shoot yourself in the foot with penalties, and you can't make the big-time plays when it matters the most.
Well, that is a part of the story here through the first 4 games of this season. What grade, we can kind of go back and forth here and alternate. What grade, starting with you, Phil, would you give this Broncos offense after 4 games?
After 4 games for this offense, I'm giving them a C+. Now, I could give them a C-, but after watching the game Monday night and seeing what they can do when they're firing on all cylinders and they're in a rhythm, it's looking good for the Denver Broncos. Now they got to continue to do it. But the reason why I'm giving them a C+ is Bo has struggled. All right, Bo has struggled for the past 3 games. Now, since he turned it on, but it's not the Bo Nix we were expecting. We were expecting the Bo Nix that ended the year last year. Instead, it was like he took a step back for a second. The turnovers, not setting his feet in the pocket, not climbing the pocket, not anchoring down and being accurate with the ball, not utilizing his legs enough. Things like that, dumping it down to the running back way too much when you have an opening receiver down the middle of the field, not trusting your receivers and not trusting your line. So that was one of them. And then it's just about the sustainability of just staying on the field, sustaining drives. Like finding ways to make it third and manageable. And that's not just on Bo. That's on the whole unit. That's on Sean putting everybody in the right situations. And then definitely, Zach, it's the inability to not close games, not close out games.
Yeah.
When you have an opportunity to do it, take advantage of it. That's what makes Josh Allen so special. Lamar Jackson. That's what makes Patrick Mahomes the greatest quarterback to play the game that's still playing right now. Because he's able to close those games out, those big-time moments. Denver's not doing that yet. And that's not just offensively, it's defensively as well. We're talking about offense. That's why I'm giving them a C+. Now, it's early. It's only been 4 games.
Right. Progress report.
Progress report. Things have to turn around for you so that you can be believable when you get to the playoffs. We know this can be a playoff team, but can you make that noise? Can you win your first playoff game? That's the expectation now.
Well, we did not exchange our grades here before we did this exercise, but I walked away with the exact same grade for the Broncos offense, a C+ after 4 games. Now, if you look at the yardage per game, they're 9th in the NFL. But prior to putting up 512 yards against a really, really bad Bengals team, the Broncos were actually 22nd in the NFL in yards per game. Currently, point per game, and that's I pay a lot more attention to point per game because that's the point. Pardon the, I guess, redundancy there. The object is to score, get in the end zone. They're averaging 24 points a game. That is perfectly average, 16th in the NFL. So, yeah, I think C+ is fair. For the Broncos defense, on the other hand, for their progress report after 4 games, Phil, I would give them an A-. They're allowing the 10th least amount of yards per game, 285 yards a game. More importantly than yards, because this has been a bend but don't break defense at certain points, they are 2nd in the NFL, allowing less than 17 points a game.
Dominant.
16.8 to be exact. All right. 2nd in the NFL, number 1 in the NFL in getting after the quarterback, 15 sacks in 4 games. The one thing that they're not doing is turning their opponent over. They're actually pretty average at that, right there in the middle of the pack of the NFL. So, I went back and forth on this.
So you give them an A-.
Between
You're generous, man.
Between B+ and A-. I understand where you're going to go, but in 2025, when you're allowing less than 17 points a game, that was sort of the tiebreaker for me.
No doubt. I mean, when you're 2nd in points allowed, like, come on. Like, we're sitting here like this is champagne problems. Your defense is some dogs. But in order to compete with some of the better teams, like I just got done saying, Philly this week, Green Bay.
Yep.
All right, Houston's the one that's kind of shaky, but they have some ball players.
Throw Jacksonville in there.
Jacksonville.
Playing good football.
Man, I'm surprised about that. And we get to see our boy Travis Hunter at some point.
Yep.
But it's also, all right, it's the late game failures to me, Zach. Just like the offense, defensively, you had opportunities to stop that. You had opportunities to pick the ball off or get a turnover or get a sack so that you could save your offense. But no, the coach drive down the field, and then they get the game-winning field goal. The Chargers drive down the field on you. Zach Allen has an opportunity to make a tackle, but Justin Herbert goes Houdini on him, loses the tackle, sees Keenan Allen. Now, Riley Moss had good coverage. Keenan Allen just made a really good catch. you end up losing the game because of that. Defense needs to be more stout when it matters the most. And then also when you talk about the defense has been penalized 16 times for 150 yards. They can't get out of their own way. That means that when you're getting penalized like that, you're keeping quarterbacks on the field longer, like Justin Herbert. If you keep a quarterback like Justin Herbert on the field longer, he is going to make you pay. So that's something that needs to change. And then there's one little small thing that needs to change too as time goes on, and that's just being more consistent at the start of games. They have slow starts where they're giving up some type of points. It may not be a touchdown. Even for the Cincinnati Bengals, it was 3 points.
True.
All right, as you get deeper into the season, and you're starting to play teams that are going to be in the playoffs, you can't give up easy points.
No, and that's something that we need to keep our eye on, because if you go back to week number 1, you remember Tennessee went down the field and hung a field goal. And again, it's not worst case scenario, but you're looking to avoid points, especially when your defense is as good as they are. So the Titans scored first. If you remember, the Colts went down and scored on their opening drive. In the Chargers game, the Chargers went down the field, 8 plays, 56 yards, and drew first blood as well. And then it happened again here in Cincinnati. So you're on it, 4 for 4. It's a really good observation. I didn't quite realize that all 4 games, when the opposing offense was touching the ball for the first time against this highly rated defense, they went down and scored some form of points.
Yeah, and so therefore I'm giving them a B+.
That's fair.
B+, which is, hey, it's 4 games. We know that that this defense is the backbone of the team. And that's why we have high expectations for them moving forward. If we're going to get back to the playoffs, make some noise, and Sean's talking about Super Bowl, then it's going to be because of this defense and what they can do. The sacks, the interceptions, the turnover on downs, anything to help this offense out is what the defense is going to have to do in order for us to be victorious and win and make some noise in the playoffs.
We're doing progress reports after the first 4 games of the season, the traditional, quarter century, or not quarter century mark, but the I keep saying quarter pole, but I don't think that's actually the right phrase. I think the quarter pole is the end of a race. But you guys know what I mean. When we do Bo Nix,
let's Bo.
What grade would you slap on his progress report?
I'm gonna give Bo a C-. It hasn't been good enough. The first 4 games since he was really good. We know that, but there's context to that. The first game of the year, Tennessee, I thought we were going to see a little bit more from Bo. Instead, he struggled. He struggled in zone with zone pressure. He struggled to stay in the pocket and make accurate throws. And then it bled into, then he kind of corrected it in the Colts game. Had 4 drives where he went for touchdowns. And so, okay, Bo's getting back into it. But then he makes a bad decision, a bad mistake at the end of that game there, which then the momentum shifted in the Colts way, and the Colts were able to make Denver pay because of that. And then you go into the Chargers game where it was just bad for the offense. There were 6 3-and-outs, and Bo made a couple bad decisions as well. Set your feet. You had 3 opportunities to have 2 touchdowns and a big-time play from Cortland Sutton, and you weren't able to capitalize on that because you weren't as accurate as you should have been. Now, we went back and forth, but I can agree with you on that. If you set your feet, if you find a way to just get the ball to your receivers like Marvin Mims and Cortland Sutton, you win that game.
Definitely.
And therefore, that's why I have to give him a C-. There's so much more for him to do, so much more room for him to grow, which he will grow. I do believe that here for Sean put a lot more on his plate. And now Sean may have taken some of it down, simplified the offense, but also said, hey, let's lean on the running backs a little bit more. Let's help our young quarterback out. The identity of this team, whether Sean likes it or not now, and I think people are starting to see it, you got to run the ball.
Yeah.
You have to run the ball.
And I think that if I walked around Mile High with a camera and a microphone and I asked people out there tailgating, where do you think the Broncos rushing attack as a team ranks in the NFL? I think I'm projecting here.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there. They're actually 5th. And so that, the strength of the team under the umbrella of it all is the defense. But if you were just isolating the offense and tried to identify the strength of the offense, it is the rushing attack so far. It is.
In their top 5, like you just said, as of right now, you paid this offensive line who's really good at running the ball when they get going. They're the second highest paid offensive line in the NFL. Your running back that you got for cheap, J.K. Dobbins, is number 4 right now in rushing. So he's having himself a year so far.
Yeah, so 5th as a team, and you have an individual player who's 4th in rushing.
And yet, you still passing the ball. You're playing against the Bengals, and you throw over 40 times.
You actually can't make that up. You had game control from start to finish nearly after the first possession of the game, and you still threw it more than you passed. You still threw it more than you ran it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So, like, the identity of this team moving forward, Sean, run the ball. Because it's going to set up the pass game. It's going to take pressure off of Bo Nix. It's going to set up the play action. And it's going to be easier for Cortland Sutton to get open because now he's going to be one-on-one on the outside instead of having zone on him or somebody over the top that's spying on him. So for Bo Nix, as of right now, C-. Zach, what do you have?
I have C+. I agree with most everything you said there. It's just a little bit different of a grade. In yardage, passing yardage, he's 16th, perfectly average. The one thing that I don't like so far, and I'm not freaking out about it, but it's definitely on my radar to continue to watch, his completion percentage is 20th in the NFL, but he's got the most passes within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage of any quarterback in the league. So it's like, man, how can you be 20th in completion percentage when there's so many layups to be had to improve that completion percentage? So that's just something I'm keeping an eye on. Touchdowns, he's tied for 4th in the NFL right now. And again, because it's so early in the season, you have a lot of these guys with the same touchdown totals. So like, if I were just giving you an example here, the league leaders right now in touchdown passes, Lamar with 10, Jared Goff with 9, Aaron Rodgers with 8, Matthew Stafford with 8, Baker with 8, Jordan Love with 8, Caleb Williams with 8, and then you have a collection of guys with 7.
Did you say Josh?
He's 7. Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Tua, Bo, and Drake May, all with 7 touchdown passes.
So that'd be like tier 2.
Interception-wise, he's also tied for 4th. That's one you don't want to be tied for 4th. And we know he's got a fumble in there, too. So there's been too many turnovers here to start the season. His QBR, which I like this through the years, ESPN's proprietary quarterback scoring system, which is more nuanced and takes all things that a quarterback faces under consideration. Like, what are you trying to do on, like, quarterback rating, the traditional? It's just so simplistic and straightforward. It lacks all context of the game of football. And, like, your level of defense. Are you playing the number 1 defense? Or are you playing the dead last defense? So QBR takes that all into account. He's 20th ranked quarterback in the NFL after 4 weeks. So C+, hasn't been the worst, but it's not close to the expectation that certainly Sean set in the preseason.
And that's another thing right there. Like, Sean put so much pressure on Bo, and I feel like a broken record saying this, but it's the truth. Sean put so much pressure on Bo by saying in a couple years here, I believe he's going to be top 4, top 5. Just let it organically happen. And you had Bo go out there, and he was pressing. And he seemed like he was frustrated. And he just couldn't focus as much as he needed to. And that's because there's a lot of pressure put on him. He's already the starting quarterback.
Right.
He already knows that he has to go out there and produce for Broncos country.
Right.
Or they're going to boo your ass.
You're starting quarterback in the NFL. It's hard to get more pressure put on you. Somehow Sean found a way.
Yeah, and you're trying to be a franchise quarterback, so that's even more pressure. You know you're not a backup. So, yeah, man, C-, Zach. Change yours to C-.
I have it C+. We could agree to disagree. It's all good. Still within that C variety. Sean Payton. What would you give Sean Payton? I will give him a C- in this one.
A C-?
I'll give him a C-. Yeah, you're one of the most undisciplined teams in the league. But
is that on him? Because
yes,
Zach, we're watching these practices.
Dude, you're either coaching it or allowing it. And when it's this bad, when you're averaging 10 flags a game, when you're not, emphasizing leverage, and that costs you a game because you fired a top 10 special teams coordinator a year ago, and you brought in your boy, and it's been an issue so far. 40 flags in 4 games, that's the 10th most. 290 yards in penalties, that's the 6th most. There has been decisions that have been flat out head-scratching in the Titans game, throwing it on 4th and 8 with 90 seconds left when you could make it a 2-possession game. That's asinine. That is it's agenda football. It's not Broncos first. You can't tell me that. 53-yard field goal. That's 15 feet less than Will Lutz's career high, and you're in altitude in the middle of a summer day. That's insanity. Sean
is on Zach's naughty list.
I'm in my opinion,
you're valid point.
That's like calling balls and strikes here, dude. Like when your offense finds it difficult to get plays off.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you have 8 pre-snap penalties through 4 games.
When you don't get the run game going, I know, like, oh, here it goes again with Phil. But it's like, dude, like, it's working. You're number 5 right now. You're ranked number 5 as a running offense. Like, do it more.
Yes, and so for those reasons, it's undisciplined. Your offense is disjointed. That's your offense. You haven't leaned into the actual strength of the offense. And, so I would give – look, I'm not giving him an F. He's not in the D's, but he's got a C-.
No, you're right. You're right. You know what? I was going to give him a C+, maybe a B-, but after what you just laid out right there, you are absolutely right when it comes to Sean Payton. And then you have to add what he did in the offseason of generating all this buzz. All right, he did that to himself. And so when you do that, you put pressure on yourself. And yet you're 2-2. You said you wanted a faster start fast, finish strong, but you're 2-2.
Right. There was so much emphasis on the fast start. You're right.
You said something earlier where it's like, hey, you beat Tennessee, which we thought was going to be the worst team in the NFL before the season started.
And they've yet to win a game.
You beat Cincy.
I think this is the single worst team in the NFL right now. They've lost the last 2 weeks 76-13.
But you lose to the Colts and the Chargers, and they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. This is who the Broncos have been.
So, Sean, you have to get your act together and start beating teams. Now, it's not about a winning record because, hey, you just beat the Bengals. They had a winning record.
Yeah.
But believable teams
that
are going to be sitting there in the playoffs here soon.
Yeah. And honestly, and if I'm just being real here, if you are examining Sean's performance through 4 weeks through a Super Bowl lens that he handed me, it can't be higher than a C-. Super Bowl lens? Emphasis on the fast start? I mean, so... Yeah, but guess what? That's the best part about a progress report. It's checking in that where you are at, there is opportunities here, and there's going to be plentiful opportunities here moving forward for these grades to rise. And these are just arbitrary grades, right? The report card is what matters.
That's all that matters. Look, I'm not going to get my belt out on a progress report right now. I'm going to warn them. Now, the report card come out and it looks the same. The belt's coming out.
Yeah, so we'll see where the Broncos stand after around week 8. At Philly, New York Jets in London. Man, I got to say, I do not like this next sequence of
it's like the reasonable the matchup.
No, from a travel and schedule standpoint. Short week before you go into Philly.
Yeah.
And then you go from Philly to London. And
they're not coming home.
No.
They're going to go from Philly straight to London.
Right. And so I just, I think the Broncos are going to give Philly hell on Sunday. First thing I did on Monday morning after I took a leak was take the Broncos plus 4.5.
Damn, didn't even brush your teeth yet.
No. Nope. Keep the fuzz on there. They can wait. Take that before the number moves. So we'll see. We'll see after Philly, Jets in London, Giants at home, Cowboys at home. What that report looks like at the midway, the report card looks like at the midway point. If you want to react to that conversation, we'd love to have you on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. Shifting gears here. Wasn't even a week ago. We were arguing like cats and dogs about one controversial figure in Colorado sports, and boy, oh boy, do we have a new chapter in that story. That's next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Cake Mortgage Corp. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1734623. Licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. Are you a first-time home buyer? Are you trying to lower your existing mortgage payment? Do you need cash from your equity? For most people, getting a mortgage means endless paperwork and weeks of anxiety. But with Cake Mortgage, our process is simple, fast, and hassle-free. Whether you're purchasing, refinancing, or looking to tap your home's equity, our team guides you step by step so you always know what's next. Our thousands of 5-star customer reviews will tell you no one can do what Cake can. So stop stressing and start saving fast with Cake. Your fresh-baked cake home mortgage is ready to enjoy. So don't wait. Call 1-800-EAT-CAKE. That's 1-800-EAT-CAKE. Again, that's 1-800-EATCAKE. Or visit cakehome.com to learn more now.
Hey, sports fans, did you know that O'Mara owns GMC on 104th? It's true, and now it's time to check them out.
That's right, and O'Mara GMC announces the lowest lease payments of the year. GMC Hummer, just $549. Sierra 1500, just $479.
Wow, lease a GMC Hummer for only $549 a month, or a Sierra 1500 for just $479.
That's O'Mara GMC on 104th. OmaraGMC.com.
Stock TU 601245, 26 GMC Hummer EV, stock SZ146350, 25 GMC Sierra 1500. See website for complete details.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey guys, it's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors. Right now, they've got a great deal on windows, so take advantage before the snow starts falling. Order your windows in October, finance your project with them, and you won't pay anything until November of 2027. Be warm during the holidays. Don't wait to upgrade your home. Order windows or siding from 5280 Exteriors before the cold weather arrives. Call 5280 Exteriors now and see how low your monthly payment can go. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. Navigating personal injury claims on your own can feel like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Don't let things fall apart. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law. Online at flanagan.law.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Cherdak from Denver Regenerative Medicine. When it comes to healing, there's no one-size-fits-all. Every patient receives a unique treatment plan designed just for them. We use either your own stem cells or carefully selected donor cells to treat degenerative joints, torn muscles and ligaments, and even back injuries. Our goal is lasting healing without unnecessary surgery. And right now, we're offering 10% off treatments through October. Schedule your free consultation today at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
Your hunt for the perfect breakfast sandwich is over. Jack in the Box's sourdough scramblers starting at $3.49 come with toasted sourdough, scrambled eggs, melty cheese, and your choice of hickory smoked bacon or grilled sausage. Then does you one better by being available all day.
This segment on 104.3 The Fans brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
It wasn't even a week ago that we were arguing like cats and dogs about a controversial figure in Colorado sports. And we have a new chapter in that story. We were talking about Shedeur Sanders a week ago. And the reason that we were talking about Shedeur was because the news came out around this time last week, I think it was maybe even 6 days ago, that we had an initial report that the Baltimore Ravens wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur told the Ravens, no thank you. And then 6 days ago, the report came out that the Super Bowl champions and arguably the most well-run organization in all of the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles, also wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders. To which Shedeur Sanders said, no. No thank you, Baltimore. No thank you, Philly. I'd like to go to Cleveland. Words that had never been spoken before. And then
somebody has to help them out.
And then, so we were arguing, and we're not going to argue again today because that was organic and it was.
There's no reason to argue right now.
No. But if you didn't hear it, I encourage you to go back and listen to last week. Our show becomes a podcast almost instantly after we get off the air. DenverSports.com, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. So what has happened since then is what I was fearing on behalf of Shedeur, that like you've told these other sterling organizations, I don't want to be a part of your healthy, awesome organizations. And I'd rather go to the most dysfunctional organization in pro football.
Because he wants to play. He wants to play right away. He thought, that was his thought process.
Right.
I want to play.
That's right. And I said, man, you better hope Lamar Jackson doesn't get hurt, because if he gets an opportunity to play and you have Baltimore Ravens to the left and right of you and not Cleveland Browns to the left and right of you, that's a more a situation set up to succeed. And same applies to Philly. If he were, if Jalen Hurts were to get hurt, being in that situation. And what do you know, Phil? What do you know? Lamar Jackson hurts his hamstring.
Yeah, he's going to be out probably.
I believe he will. And I think Cooper Rush is going to start, not Shedeur Sanders. And in the same sequence, you can't make it up, Joe Flacco gets benched, Dylan Gabriel gets promoted, but they are going to keep Shedeur Sanders at third string with Flacco being the backup for Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I don't understand. Like, we know you're not going back with Flacco. If you're going to lose, you're going to lose with Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, like the future. Joe Flacco was there just for a quick pit stop, and now his time is done. So why? Why not just say, hey, we're going to let Dylan Gabriel start, and Shedeur's going to back him up? Why do we continue to play these games if you're Cleveland? Oh, hey, because it's probably Cleveland.
Because it's Cleveland. That was part of the argument.
But if Dylan Gabriel does not go out there, and he's going to get at least 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
He was drafted in the 3rd round. He was drafted in front of Shedeur Sanders, so they believe in Dylan Gabriel.
Yep.
But if it doesn't pan out with him, you have to let everybody see what Shedeur Sanders has to offer. Not just the fan base, but the organization as well. You have to find a quarterback at some point. So this is where it's like, hey, yeah, you could have been playing with Baltimore because Lamar Jackson messed his hamstring up.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to bank on that. I'd rather bank on, hey, it is Joe Flacco. It is Dylan Gabriel, and I believe I'm better than Dylan Gabriel, and I know Joe Flacco is just here to be here until one of us emerges as a starting quarterback. So I still believe Shador's going to get his opportunity, and he's going to get more than 1 or 2 games. He'll get at least 4 or 5, just like Dylan Gabriel.
Well, oh God, I just I haven't changed my position at all. I think
you're stubborn.
Well, no, I just think I'm looking at it with more clear eyes than you. We'll see, man.
More awareness.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Did you see the interview he did today?
I did.
Or like, I don't even know what to call it because it's an interview you normally speak, but it was an open locker room, and of course,
a mute interview.
Yeah,
let's go with a mute interview.
Yeah, so reporters came up to Shador and asked him about the quarterback shuffle, and Shador was moving his mouth like he was talking, but he was like pantomiming it. So like I literally was like checking my phone. I was like, what the hell is wrong with my phone? Like no, I'm not missing anything. He is acting like he's talking and moving his mouth legitimately, like he's speaking without saying a word. I've never seen that approach. Apparently, this is a callback to something Rex Ryan said on ESPN earlier in the week when Rex Ryan said this.
An outstanding coach, all right? But why the hell isn't he putting Shador Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shador Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
We'll see if they make a change there.
Okay. So apparently when Rex says, hey, this kid runs his mouth, Shador's response was to move his mouth but not run it. Keep it in park, maybe.
Keep it in park. What is he saying about being, front? Be in the front.
He's saying like get your butt in the front row like the film room and be taking notes and
like obviously he's hearing something in the building or you wouldn't bring that up.
See, that's the thing that I think that there was something behind like when Rex says, if I know as a media member, the whole league knows.
Yeah.
If I'm Shador, I don't like hearing that. And I know that's his response, but like for Rex Ryan to feel comfortable enough to share that on the national TV, it's like, what is he hearing from inside that organization? And if he is hearing stuff.
But also like with the meeting rooms, Zach, like the individual meeting rooms are little, like how ours is right now, our room that we're in.
Yep.
So there may be, for the quarterbacks, you got 3 or 4 of them.
And we see them on Hard Knocks every year.
Yeah, so you see how it is. And so I guess at some point you have like a seating chart. Like you kind of get used to like where you're sitting.
Correct. Yeah, right.
And
Sure.
that's it.
Absolutely.
So where is it where he's like not sitting in the front row? If Flacco's in the front row, you're going to tell Flacco to move? Like you can't do that.
Well, we don't know if Flacco's in the front row. But it sounds like, and look, like whether you're sitting in the front row or back row, that's like a little bit like elementary school, like semantics. But what is coming out of that organization from within about Shador Sanders? And this is part of the reason why I said that organization is toxic. It's rudderless. It's got no leadership in terms of, the second level of the building. Yeah. I think Kevin Stefanski's a really good coach, but like Cleveland is where quarterbacks go to die. Even when you think you have a bona fide quarterback in like Deshaun Watson, you'll say, we'll give you $200 million guaranteed. Something happens where Cleveland,
got a curse on them or something.
They find a way to screw it up. And that's why I just continue to say, man, it was just a little too nearsighted. And I understand it was a shorter path to potentially playing. But man, when you turn down the Eagles, you turn down the Ravens, and you pick the Browns by choice, I don't know, Phil. I don't know.
He's going to be fine. He's going to look. I don't know if he's going to be a bona fide starting cornerback in this league for a long time, but he will get his opportunity because it's the Cleveland Browns. And they haven't found a franchise quarterback yet. And that's all he's looking for, right? That's why he went to Cleveland. So, hey, let's see what you can do when you get your opportunity. You're going to get 5 or 6 games.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Man, that's going to be fascinating. If that takes place like in December, it's actually going to be for us here locally like must-watch TV. All right, it's a bit of a reunion this week for the Broncos. We'll talk about why next.
The Broncos bounced back in a major way and blew out the Bengals in prime time. With a short week ahead, will Sean Payton find a way to keep the momentum rolling on offense? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Is an IRS tax problem keeping you up at night? Well, join Todd from Advanced Tax Solutions for a free online workshop at 5:30 on Wednesday, October 8th. Todd will cover the 7 solutions to fix an IRS problem and get you on your way to having clarity and a plan with a licensed professional guiding your way. In this free workshop, he'll cover things like when will the taxes expire? It's actually possible this could just go away. You'll learn the IRS program to permanently settle your debt for less than you owe and several other important answers that will help you take control of your IRS problem. Todd will teach you what you need to know to get out of debt with the IRS for good and build a future you can be proud of. Don't pass up this free workshop with a licensed professional with 30 years of IRS resolution experience. So reserve your spot now by calling 303-753-6040. Again, 303-753-6040, Advanced Tax Solutions.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft. Since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
Planning out your holiday pictures? Let's move you to the front. Because at Soda Weight Loss, you could drop the belly fat and gain your confidence back, just like Ramon.
Soda gave me more than a smaller waistline. It gave me back the confidence to wear what I want. No injections, no hunger, just a plan that works.
Right now, the most popular offer of the season is back. Join today and your partner joins free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. If you've been seriously injured in a truck or car wreck, you want Wilhite. We've been voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm for the last 3 years in a row. Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Our final segment here on a hump day. And friend of the show stopping by, the scrappy one, the scrapster, Scrap Peterson. What up, Will?
What up, boys? How we doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, brother?
Scrappy. Great. Love listening to your guys' Broncos grades. And I think you have it right, Zach. It's the quarter pole. Stick with your gut.
All right, that's what I thought. But
It's the quarter pole.
But the RamosLaw.com text line is like, no, that's the last leg of the race. You guys know what I'm saying. It's semantics, right?
I've heard that in the NFL for 2 decades. 4 games in, it's the quarter pole. Now, going to 17, obviously,
it's different.
Yeah,
makes it a little trickier. But for all intents and purposes, they're a quarter of the way through.
Yeah. Bit of a reunion this weekend. All right. Vic Fangio.
Oh, Vic.
Denver Broncos former head coach, current defensive coordinator for the world champion Eagles. And it's the second time that they've linked up with Vic since the Broncos fired him. He was the defensive coordinator of record for the Miami Dolphins in the 70-20 Dolphins rout.
That was an ugly one, man.
And you know how much Vic loved that day. That's one of his favorite days ever.
Vic holds grudges now. He does. He
Yeah.
remembers everything, and he's going to hold a grudge against you.
Well, we'll see what it looks like on Sunday. This is an interesting matchup. He's one of the highest regarded defensive coordinators, really, in NFL history. I think it's fair to say. What wasn't cut out to be a head coach for some of the reasons we talked about here throughout the afternoon. And if you missed some of the storytelling with Phil, go back and listen on the podcast earlier in the show, really to lead the show. First segment of hour number 1, if you're interested in that, and it was really good. But Will, where we talked about it throughout the afternoon. How do you remember Vic Fangio?
First of all, I remember Vic Fangio for 2 reasons. One, he's the guy that did not own a suit for his introductory press conference.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So Broncos had to buy him a suit. And 2, he's the guy that got taken to dinner at Elway's, very nice steakhouse, and ordered a cheeseburger.
Ordered a burger, yeah.
And ordered a cheeseburger. And it's just, listen, the guy doesn't own a suit, whatever. The guy orders a cheeseburger, whatever. But what I'll remember the most about Vic is every single training camp, he just chilled with the defense.
Yeah.
He refused to watch the offense. Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock share a birthday. He wished Teddy Bridgewater a happy birthday. Mike Cliff says it's Drew's birthday too. Vic goes, it is. And then just moves on.
That was the most classic sequence ever.
So between suit, cheeseburger, hating the offense, and not liking Drew Lock.
And no music during camp.
Not exactly a lot of fond memories of Vic Fangio.
Were you on the team still, Phil, because there was a story that was sort of under the radar that Vic Fangio took Von Miller's speaker out of his locker because Von was playing the music too loud. And Ray Jackson had to go to Vic and say, hey, you got to, he's a grown man. You got to give him back his speaker.
Yeah. So Vic was just always upset. One, he always would walk into the locker room, and Ray would always say, "Hey, look, at some point that's their space. If you don't want to hear the music, there's a coach's locker room. Why do you have to walk through our space?" Because he would do that. He would look and he'd be nosy sometimes. He'd be like, "Oh, you got a new tattoo, and I don't really like tattoos. Oh, what are you gonna do about it, Vic?" And so he did take Von's speaker when Von was not there, and Von came into the locker room and was like, "Yo, where's my speaker at?" And it was a big speaker, and I guess word got out that Fangio took it because he didn't like the music that was being played, and it was all right. Now you're going too far.
Yeah,
you're going way too far, especially it's Von, a Hall of Famer, Vic. What are you doing, man? You already don't let us listen to music outside.
Yep.
And now we can't listen to music in the locker room?
I had heard a whisper that Vic Fangio was not the biggest Von Miller fan.
Yeah, Von and Vic, I don't think they got along with scheme. It came to scheme. Von wanted to do certain things. Vic didn't want him to do that. And Von kind of being vocal about it.
Sure.
You know how it is, especially when they get older. As players get older, they don't want to change.
Yep.
Just like Vic doesn't want to change either. He's older.
Yeah, and this was, Vic didn't become the coach until 2019.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, so, Vaughn he was already years removed from being Super Bowl MVP.
And if you remember that at that time, too, with Vaughn, so he played 2 years. He got to play 1 year with Vic because the year that I was there, Vaughn popped his Achilles. Remember, going into that first game of the year against Tennessee. And he popped his Achilles 3 days before the game on a play, Zach, that wasn't even supposed to be played. We were supposed to be done with practice. And Vic wanted to run a couple red zone plays because we had 2 minutes left in practice. And so they put the starting defense out there. Vaughn takes a step forward, right? I don't even think he had too much power into it. Took a step forward and it popped. And it's like, man, right before the season starts, 3 days before the game, our star player,
that's nuts,
pops his Achilles and this didn't have to even be a thing. We were done with practice. We went through the whole entire script.
Probably some resentment from Vaughn towards Vic because of that.
I think a bunch of the players were upset with that. We were questioning, like, why? What was the purpose for this last play when we have already ran it in practice multiple times? Why did you have to see it again? Because he was a defensive coordinator. Because he wanted to see a different play with the defense. And so it ended up backfiring, and we lost our star player because of it.
Wow.
Man.
Wow. Memory lane here.
Yeah.
Great story about the speaker in the locker room. That's good stuff. And that sort of sums up the Vic Fangio era.
Yeah, there you go.
He's old, he's grumpy, and he can't relate to the star player.
But I tell you what, that man's a hell of a defensive coordinator. He is going to find a way to scheme up some plays. And I know we're going to talk about it tomorrow, Zach, and on Friday, but Bo Nix better be ready because Vic Fangio is going to bring that pressure.
We will continue this conversation tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Appreciate everyone for rocking with us here on a hump day. And big thanks to Dante Gomez and Drew Spivak behind the glass. It is Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
Changes are coming at 20th and Blake. The Rockies announced that Bill Schmidt is stepping down as general manager, and the team will begin an immediate search for a replacement. Will an external candidate give Colorado a much-needed fresh perspective? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something that a lot of you out there already know, but for some reason, maybe you're just ignoring it. But I'm here to tell you that Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic are experts in treating low T and other men's sexual health conditions. They've successfully treated many men that are dealing with low testosterone, and a lot of these gentlemen have seen amazing differences that these treatments can make in their life. If you're one of these guys out there, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return, the brain fog will go away, your sleep will improve, as will the workouts. And that sex drive, gentlemen, that sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. All I need you to do is take the Low T quiz on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz full of yes or no answers. Guys, it takes 2 minutes to do. Then what you're going to do is schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They're going to draw your blood and have the results within 30 minutes. They have 5 locations in Colorado to serve you as well, so there are no excuses. Don't give me, hey, it's too far or I don't know where to go. Bullcrap. You could go to Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. Give them a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800